Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is, what is this? What is today? Thursday, March the 15th, 2018. It's another Technical Alpha podcast. This room is decidedly more echoey than usual, and I'm just hearing it now that everything has been stripped into my office. And ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching this on Twitch and on YouTube, congratulations. You get to look at cartoon pictures of us, kindly drawn by a fantastic artist this week. Or not this week specifically, but this week you get to look at it, because I literally have nothing in my office. Mr. Jeff and Mr. Panic can see me, but nobody else can, because I literally do not have the shit hooked up to make all this happen this week. And for reasons we'll likely get into. But yeah, first of all, I'm a little scared. Mr. Black, can you say something? I don't know if I can hear you guys.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Hello.
Thank God. All right, no, we're good. We're good. I honest to God, I wasn't entirely sure that I still had things plugged in properly to make this happen, but here we are. And I apologize that we ran a little late on the intro as well, because I went to turn on Adobe Audition, and for years, and I mean years, no hyperbole here, like 5 years now minimum, a very generous, long-standing community member has let me piggyback their Adobe Creative Cloud account, because they had spares left over for what they were using it for, and I turned it on, and that just flat out expired. So I don't know if it's not being renewed or what, but I had to just quickly go and create an account for a trial. So we're just rocking the trial account right now to make all this happen.
Oh, thank you for reminding me, because mine actually just expired the other day, but it's still like running on the end.
Yeah. So anyway, we managed to make it happen. You know, we're here. We're gonna do it. It's all good. But yeah, how are you gentlemen doing? Mr. Black, how are you doing today?
I'm all right. Getting ready to go on a vacation with the wife. So yeah, I'm just kind of chilling. Got some packing to do, and I got to download some shows, some shit. And yeah, and then which I'll get into a little bit later on. I went and picked up another game for the Switch, but anyway, you do your intro thing, and I'll tell you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you were hinting at that when I stopped in on your stream there, like, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. You were talking about that, so I'm interested in what that's all about. Mr. Panic, how are you doing today?
Going along. Ended up having to, wasn't feeling too hot this morning, so ended up staying home from work. Luckily, I bounced back in the evening and feeling much better now. Also been playing around with my new toy. Fortunately, no one on stream is going to get to see it, but I got myself a new laptop.
That laptop, yeah. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be beating around the bush here, Panic. That laptop looks an awful lot like a giant dildo.
Don't you judge the size and shape of my laptop, okay? It serves multiple purposes.
Okay, now you don't have a light on, so basically you just held up
right.
a black rectangle. So what
I can
what-
see the
what-
Razer logo.
That's exactly what it is.
okay,
It is
it's
a black
razor
rectangle.
blade.
I got the Blade 14. I was like gonna wait for the new Dell ones to come out, but they were just like, "Hey, $500 off Blade 14." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, they
Solid
they get good reviews. I've got Razer makes a very select group of good products
Yes.
and a very broad range of absolutely terrible products. But if you're
it's
willing
worked
to spend
very
the money,
well so far. Gamed very well so far, so I don't feel like I got razored.
well, that's good.
So, good sign so far.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So I've just in the last like 7 days, this has kind of come to pass to a degree. But I've been looking for a place to move into to get out of this house for, I don't know, the better part of a year and a bit now, and just trying to find somewhere where I could downsize because this place was just too big. And when you have a house that's too big for your needs, you tend to just fill it full of shit.
Things.
You don't even need them, but you look at a blank wall and you're like, fuck, I need to get something to fill up that blank wall. And you don't even need that shit. And but you might not even have the money to fill that wall up with the shit, but you're gonna do it anyway because you can't look at it without turning your head sideways. And so I got a little tired of that, and I got tired of spending more money than I needed to. But the challenge was, finding a place that actually would save me money, because renting in Halifax is like stupid expensive, and unless you're willing to live in just a step above a crack house, you're not really gonna save yourself a whole hell of a lot of money moving from where I am. So, and Jeff's laughing because he knows what's up. This is just so true, it hurts. So I never really found anything. It started to get a little better recently because some places the competition is getting so real amongst these condos turned apartment buildings that they were like, please God, move here, we'll pay for your power bill. And at that point, now we're talking about actually saving some money because as a streamer, you chew up power like it's going out of fucking style. So
Big question is if it's gas or electric heating.
I don't really care. Most of them all have heat pumps, so it doesn't really matter.
All right, you guys do that up there. 'Cause you guys are actually sustainable.
Yes, because we need cold in the summer and warm in the winter. So the heat pump thing makes a lot of sense here. But yeah, so that started making sense. But I couldn't really find anything that was going to save me more than $100 to $150 a month, and the act of going through all the pains of just moving to save $150 a month wasn't really worth it. But just recently, a buddy of mine, unfortunately separated. Well, fortunately, I guess for me, unfortunate for him to a degree, separated with his girlfriend. He was over and we were watching UFC or whatever, and he just brought this up. He's like, "Look, I know you're looking for a place to move into. I have this house that I need to pay a mortgage for." And I need somebody to move in to help cover that, so I'm not just working my life away and dying in early age. So it's open to you if you want to do that, because I would rather have you guys than some random person. And Jeff again would understand why this might be beneficial.
She's just like, the woman just bounced and be like, "Yeah, have fun with that mortgage, bro."
Well, what was happening already was she wasn't covering a lot of the bills to begin with, because she's a what's called a music therapist. She's one of those people that go around to like hospitals or old folks' homes and heal people through the magic of music, which
One of the softer economic and career disciplines.
Yes. Now, of course, per hour that makes great money. The trick is actually filling up the amount of hours required to turn that into anything worth.
We'll take you for 3 hours a month.
Yeah, exactly. And so she wasn't really, so he was already strapped for it. But the thing, I mean, not to air out all of his shit, but he had originally
air it all out. Just air it all out.
Well,
Fuck that bitch.
he originally got the house with his twin brother, and he's a carpenter and electrician, and so he was just he renovated the whole place by himself anyway, slowly over the time that they owned the place, but for various things that we don't need to go into here.
Of course,
that
yeah.
didn't work out either,
Okay.
and so now
I
he's
thought,
kind of on his own.
maybe she was on the mortgage with him,
Oh,
and she was
no.
like, "Have fun, bro.
No.
I'm out."
No,
Pay your
but she
bills.
was
Anyway.
already kind of low key, like have fun, bro, because she wasn't really covering all that much to begin with. So,
Okay.
yeah, and so yeah, that happened, and so we talked about it, and he, you know, I went over to his place the other day, and I said, hey, you know, let's just walk through, you know, what rooms are you willing to part with, you know, what are you looking at for this? And he's a really quiet I mean, it's Joel, you know who it is, Jeb. So
Yeah, I
he's a
know who
really
it is.
quiet to himself guy, he's super chill, nice as hell. He's never really home because he works all the time. And so he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really fucking care what rooms you take. I just need a place to sleep and a place to eat. So fucking take whatever you want. So we're getting the master bedroom with like the ensuite. We're
Adam
getting
went and robbed his house. He's like, "Oh,
Wow.
well then,
no,
I will
no, no,
take
no.
your
You
master
are
bedroom."
kind of a
No. I didn't. No, this is what he offered me. I didn't.
You
I
can
didn't
put a
ask
mini
for
fridge in the
anything.
spare room. I'll take the kitchen.
Oh my
No,
God,
like
Adam.
he offered all this shit. I said, you know, we can put one of our offices in the bedroom or whatever. We don't need to take all this shit. And he was like, no, for real, I'm never home. I really don't care. Just take this shit and do your thing, because it's the options are either that or I have to find some random person to fill this house up, and that's probably going to end poorly. So yeah. Anyway, we're getting the master and the ensuite and two other rooms on the upstairs floor. The room he has is still massive, because when he built when he renovated, he added an entire floor to the house. He just straight up stacked a second story onto the house. And so the rooms that he made up there are fucking enormous. So the one that he's in is like I'd say like 18 by 12 or something like that. Or 18 by 13. It's a big ass room. And then the one that we're in is what a lot of people do is, you know, they build the second story, and one of the rooms is over the garage. So you just end up with this one room that's fucking ginormous, and that's what the master is. It's actually too big, but you couldn't do anything because of where the staircase is. So you just have like, even my bed, which is enormous, we're going to put this in here, and there's going to be like a fucking football field. We could have like a mini rink in the rest of the fucking room, and like have like ice skating lessons at the front half of our bedroom, and we'd have more than enough room. It's silly. But yeah, it's great space. The house is in good shape. It's obviously he did it, so it's better than the house I'm living in right now, because new construction is absolute fucking
Oh,
trash.
the house that you're in right now
It's
is
just
built like fucking shit.
Is it
It is
like,
built so.
does it put McMansions to shame?
Dude, it's bad.
It's pretty bad. Like I used to build houses with my old man, and that we
I've seen how
used
they go from how they built it to how they do it now.
Well, there's different levels to this shit. All right, so like there are properly built houses. There's like a few companies that, even if you're in a cookie cutter neighborhood,
They're still good.
They'll build proper houses, right?
Yeah.
They'll take their time. They won't have crackheads like fucking doing the drywall and the steel stud framing and all this shit. They'll have like legit people come in and do the work. And then there is Adam's house, where they definitely had a couple of crackheads.
At least one.
At least one. At least one crackhead, one heroin addict, and at least 3 alcoholics, and one foreman that knows what he's doing.
Oh my god.
And they got together and collectively built shelter.
Yep.
And that is where Adam's at right now.
It's like they needed to build themselves a place to live while they did their drugs, and that's what my house ended up being. And it's just
pretty much.
So
it's
if you
just
were
so
to peel
bad.
up the carpet, how many layers of dead plywood are down there?
Okay, so actually the answer to that is a number, because in the first 9 months, I was the first person to live in this house. Okay, the house was months old when I moved in, and then 9 months after I moved in, we had a foundation leak that flooded half the basement.
Rip. Did you talk to your landlord about this yet? Does he know you're leaving?
Oh, he has no idea yet, but he gets
What if he
gets
listens to the podcast?
well, he gets a couple months head start anyway, so he's fine. Like I had
Yeah,
him,
but he's salty.
Oh
He's
yeah, because
salty,
now
though,
he's gonna have somebody not fixing all of his shit for him, right? He's gonna have to
Exactly.
find, because I've been, me and the old man have been doing most of the work in the house, because I just don't want to wait for a crackhead to show up to do shit work. So Dad and I just fix everything on our own, and so now he's going to put up with it. It got to the point where what was it? The last time we had to get something done, he said, "Oh, you just go ahead and do it, and then send me a bill." And I was like, "What the fuck do you think this? What? Are you a landlord, or are you just what is happening?" So anyway, the move is happening, and I say that all but in a roundabout way to say that fuck this house, getting out of it. But the thing is, the room I'm in now is really big, the office space, and I have to shrink it obviously down because my office is not going to be nearly as big moving into this other place. Unless it was the master bedroom, then I could actually host an entire esports team in that one room. But that's not the room I'm going to be putting my office in. So I've got to come up with this newfangled scheme so that I can still do everything I used to do. And that's where I'm in the middle of doing right now. So my room is completely torn apart. Jeff and Panic can see it, but the couch is like completely disassembled. There's no more platform there. There's no
Can't actually
tables and
see
shit.
that. We can literally just see like your head. Oh.
This is what the
Rex
office
is supervising.
looking like. There's nothing. There's no TV on the wall anymore. There's nothing. My main monitor's gone. I'm on my 124-inch little fucking monitor. Like I'm bare bones right now, and the room is echoey as shit. But yeah, that'll hopefully get fixed up because Dad and I are mocking up this room to be the exact same size as the new office, so that when we move, everything is ready to go, and it's just kind of like plugging into the new space, and I'm not sitting around for like 2 weeks or whatever waiting for the shit to be done. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. So now that the longest intro in podcast history is out of the way, how about we talk about some video games, guys?
What are those?
What are video? That's a great question. I don't know. I haven't played a lot of them in the last while, but let's start off the top with something mentioned in chat that I forgot about. Just quickly pass over it. So Canada has an Overwatch player that we like to forget who's actually Canadian. Because he actually acts more like just like a native of Assholetopia. His name is XQC, and he has officially and finally been removed from his team. And now I guess he can just stream for a living or some shit, which he might make more money anyway.
Making fun of gay people or something.
Yep.
Yeah, he did some more shit
again.
Yeah,
and then he got banned. He got kicked out of the league for another 4 games, which is pretty much the remainder of stage 2. So if you
what did he do this time?
I don't even know.
Because I think last time I semi-defended him. I think I said, if he wants to say something about somebody being gay on a stream outside.
Yeah, ultimately it was just if he wasn't.
Oh, right. This was So I don't know if based on what the main reason was, but he used the tryhard emote a lot historically. But he ended up starting doing it like whenever Malik was coming up on the stream, and like the chat jumped all over it. So pretty much like
Are
people
you
just
serious?
like he'd be like spamming it.
He's
So
21
like,
going on 12, bro, or some shit. Like he's one of those guys, and you can watch his stream for 5 minutes, and you can tell. And then you put him in a position of an organization that's trying to be professional to a degree, right? Like it's not like this is like professional like sports, but it's still they're trying to operate with some decorum. And then while he's representing this team and this company, he's just being a fuckboy. And so
and then on his personal stream, he was also like ragging on the casters and like other players.
Yeah, that didn't help either.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Is it something he gets suspended for? I mean, I don't know.
It's a little.
But at the same time, he's obviously a cuck and he's a moron. So it's probably good you just get rid of him anyway.
It's hurting the team, right? Because you had the whole internet, not the whole internet. It's a bit of a fucking exaggeration, but you have the Overwatch League sphere, right? And they're talking about the team's issues and whatever, and it's always almost exclusively about XQC. And it's just going to create a toxic fucking environment. How do you operate a team like that?
Well, the problem for the team itself was they have budgeting for the number of players they can have, and XQC constantly being out. He ended up playing less games than he was banned for, so he was out for more than half of stage 1 and 2. So with him being out and him being their main tank, like they pretty much have to have another player or 2 that can fill tank roles and that they have to play. So that's a big budget jump because they have to effectively handle all the infrastructure for that. So they had signed another player, and then he got banned again, and then they're just like, well, shit, like can't keep having this guy getting banned because the fuel got fined $4,000 for it also.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so they're just kind of like, you know what? He's better as a
You
streamer.
got fined $4,000.
Well, for an esports team, that's a bunch.
Yeah, for an esports team, that's like their entire month's fucking like salary at that point. So it's like fucking like get wrecked. He reminds me of what was that basketball player who changed his name to some fucking like Megatron bullshit or whatever back in the day. Shit. And then he always like fought with everyone. He got in a fight with a fan or some shit at one point, and then the team was like, all right, dude, you might be half decent at basketball, but go fuck yourself. Just like, you know, you can't do this shit.
Just get the fuck out of here.
Just get out of here. You just can't be doing this shit. It's just Meta World Peace. That was his Meta World Peace. That was
the fuck?
He changed his name. Ron Artest. That's it. Ron Artest. Meta World Peace. What a
all right,
fucking
you're gonna
idiot.
piece the fuck out. That's what you're gonna do. The fuck out of here.
I think it's for the best. XQC's better off as a streamer than a player in the league.
Yeah,
Like
he'll be
sounds
just
like he'd
fine.
Be interesting.
Oh,
as
he'll
a
make-
streamer.
he'll still
I'm
be
gonna
just
go
fine.
check
He makes
him
a
out.
bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
money from his stream anyway.
He'll be okay. Yeah, he can, and that's the beauty of it. When you're not representing anyone, you can just be a fuckboy on your own time and make your money. And
I forgot. EB Games.
oh shit, yeah. We just get right into that. Segue
All right,
into it.
so the last couple of days, I haven't been streaming. I've been like just getting ready to go on this trip, and I was at the Halifax Shopping Center, and I think I was looking for glasses or something, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a game for the Switch because I've got a long flight. I'm gonna be sitting on a beach or whatever. Like, I may as well take the Switch, play some
Of
games.
course.
I've got a little bit left to beat on Odyssey, so I'll probably beat that on the plane, and then I'll be looking to play a game. So I went to EB, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll get Resident Evil, right? Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2. It's like a combo pack that they got there, and you know, I went and looked at some reviews, and it was just like, you know, it was mediocre, right? Like 7, 8 out of 10. You know, just a good, I guess, a decent Resident Evil experience. Not the best, not the worst, just Resident Evil. So I was like, all right, I can fuck
Some
with this.
Goldilocks shit.
Exactly. So I'm at the Halifax Shopping Center, and I look at the price, and it's $39.99. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not even AAA title price. Obviously, it's like, you know, just an import from, you know, other console and PC or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll go and pick it up at another EB because I was going over to a different place, and they had an EB out there, and the lineup at the Halifax Shopping Center for some reason was just stupid. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll go pick it up at another EB. So I went over to a different EB Games, and they didn't have it on the wall.
Okay.
So I went up to the girl, and I said, hey, do you have Resident Evil for the Switch? She said, yeah, I got it. And she goes behind the counter, and in like a cabinet, she opens it up, grabs the copy of Resident Evil, hands it to me. It's upstairs right now, and packed away.
They wouldn't see it anyways. It would just be us.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's right. That's right. You wouldn't even see it.
Yeah,
anyway.
you're good.
So I keep forgetting there's no webcam. So I look at it, $39.99. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. So she rings me up, and it comes up to be like 59, $60. And in my head, I'm going,
like before tax or after tax?
This is after tax.
Okay,
right?
that's
so $39.99.
That's a lot of money for after tax.
Yeah. So it's $39.99, right? And it's like $59 or $58. And in my head, I'm going, the fuck? Literally, I have my head
at $100.
Yeah, I have my headphones in, and I literally take my head. I just had my little earbuds in.
Were you listening to God's Plan?
No, I was listening to some UFC podcast. I was listening to Joe Rogan, and so I take them off because in my like I'm trying to do math in my head, and so I had to like stop
the
the
numbers are,
noise
like,
that was
crashing
going
into
on
each other.
because some was just some didn't add up. So I take the buds off and I stand there for a second, right, holding the credit card in my hand, and she's got the machine and in my head, and I go, okay, and so I give her the credit card and I pay for the game. Right?
Wow.
I go
Okay.
and get the rest of my shopping
That's
done.
some trust.
And I go home, right? And I already forgot about this, right? So it was like I had a moment at the counter where something just wasn't right. And I was like, this is fucking what the fuck? So I go home and I because I you know, it's I'll be honest. I bought the shit, put it on my company credit card. All right,
Of course,
this is a video game.
of
So this
course.
is fucking. I'm putting it on my company credit card.
Any,
I don't
any,
care.
any chance you can
Any
get,
chance
bro.
I can, right?
Yeah.
So I have all my receipts in my filing cabinet. So as soon as I'm done buying something, I put it in the proper slots. You know, so at the end of the year, I'm not going crazy and trying to figure out where shit's at. And I look at the receipt. Now I get reminded. I'm like, okay. So I look at the receipt, and it shows Resident Evil Revelations, $49.99. Right? And I'm like, wait a sec. It's supposed to be $39.99. So I go upstairs, I grab the game, I look at it, and the tag right on the fucking thing says $39.99. So I go, these motherfuckers overcharged me. And so, and this was when we were getting that snow, like that snowstorm,
the random nor'easter
right?
we got, yeah.
So, you know, I was in one of these like funky moods where I wasn't all that happy. You know, I was like, and it's like $10 difference, right?
It's
plus
the
tax,
principle, Jeff.
right? But I was like,
principle.
I was like, the fuck,
I
I'm
will
going to get,
fight you.
and I wasn't angry because I got ripped off. I was mad because I wasn't gonna let it go. I was like, I'm not gonna take this, and I'm going. So I get into my truck. And it's fucking snowing hard, okay?
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
And it's just there's just enough snow on the ground that my tires. I'm driving my truck. That my tires are just like whoa. So I put it in four-wheel drive for the first time ever, and I'm like I'm determined, right?
Like I will make it.
I get like 4 blocks from my house, and I'm like, no, this is a bad life choice. So I turn around, I go back home, and I'm sitting there and I'm stewing, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Right? So
I'd lose sleep over that shit too.
So tomorrow happens, and I don't even think I went. So I went today. So tomorrow would have actually been yesterday. I actually didn't go. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go today.
Oh.
And I went out yesterday thinking I was gonna go and confront them about this, but I forgot the game at home and I wasn't driving back. So I went out today. I went back to the EB Games. All right, so this is where shit. This is where I go. These motherfuckers, man. So I go into EB Games and the manager's there, and I know it's the manager because last year I took like 90 PS3 games that I had in for to go and trade in. I had so much PS3 stuff from a lot that I bought, like a collection, and I don't collect PS3, so I was like, fuck it, I'm trade all this in and buy a Switch. So I traded all my PS3 games in, and the manager was there at the time because there was so much. It was like a big fucking box, and we were there for I don't know 45 minutes because they had to open up every one, look at the back of each one, you know, ring each one in, tell me how much it is. Like, oh,
Best
you
I
get
can
10
do
cents
is
for
45
this.
cents. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get fucking 15.5 cents for this. So so I knew it was the manager because I talked to him before. He didn't recognize me. But I thought he would have recognized me because I brought in so many games, but obviously he didn't recognize me. So I go in, I go, hey man, I put the Resident Evil there, my receipt up at the top. He thought I was just coming in to do an exchange, like to take the game back because it hadn't been opened yet. So I'm up at the counter. I'm like, hey man, I actually don't want to exchange the game. I want to keep it, but you guys overcharged me for the Resident Evil, and I just wanted to get the difference. He's like, oh, okay, so let me see this. So he grabs the game and he scans it and he goes, and he looks at my receipt and he goes, no, the game's $49.99. I was like, why don't you read the tag on the game? And he looks at the tag. I actually didn't say it like that, but I was like, the thing. the thing says
internally you were already holding him by the throat and telling him to look at the tag.
Exactly.
You were about to kick him into the pit.
But I do get aggressive here soon.
Of course.
So I'm like, yeah, but it says $39.99. And just like the time where I was trying to process the price difference, he was trying to process some bullshit excuse as to why it says $39.99 and and the game is $49.99. So he waits. I literally watch his brain. I watch the gears turn in this.
The smoke coming out of his ears.
And he goes, oh, yeah, that's a mistake. I said,
yes, it is.
I was like, yes, it is. I was just at the Halifax Shopping Center a couple days ago. It said it was $39.99. The lineup there was long. So I came over here because I was doing some shopping out here anyway, and I just grabbed it here. This one's always dead. No one's ever here. So he goes, yeah, that's a personal copy that we use for skewing, and it's not actual. That's just meant for us. And he was like, that's why it wasn't on the floor. And I said, well, why is it that Halifax Shopping Center has it for $39.99 and it's on the floor? He goes, well, that's and he was trying to figure out some kind of bullshit, right? And he goes, well, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do for you. And I said,
Lord.
it says $39.99. And so I was buying it, and I traveled out here on the fact that the price that was $39.99. And then it would have been one thing if it said $49.99 after I had already come from the Halifax Shopping Center, and then I would have known and had to make that decision there if I wanted to spend the extra $10 plus the tax on Resident Evil. But no, it said $39.99, and so I just bought it. And then, of course, I had that brain fart. So he said this. He goes, yeah, well, if it's not on the floor, we don't actually have to honor the price. I said, well, EB at Halifax has it out there. He goes, well, how do I know they have it out there at that price? I said, well, call them. He's like, well, he goes, then this is where, because I just kind of called him out on him. Like, well, just go ahead and call them. I was just there. He said, well, if I call them, and they tell me they do, I don't really know if they do or not. So I was like, so you're telling me they're just going to lie to you that it's $39.99? He's like, well, no, I'm not saying that they lie to me. He's just saying that even if they do have it at $39.99, there's still nothing that I can do. So unfortunately, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go over to the Halifax Shopping Center, and you're going to have to show them that it's $39.99 on the wall, and then buy that game at $39 because they have to honor it because it's on the floor. And then you can come back here and you can return this, and we'll give you your money back for this one. I said,
fuck?
I said, oh, are you serious, man? I'm like, it's a difference. You're owned by the same company. This isn't a franchise. You can call them. I don't feel like driving all the way down there, and you can just call them and they'll tell you that it's out there I was just there. Like, I know the thing.
God.
And he just refused to do it. So I said, okay, fine. I'll go to Halifax Shopping Center. So I get in my truck, right? And now
you're salty, yeah.
Now I'm mad, right?
Yeah,
now I'm fucking
yeah.
mad. And the worst part about it is I'm mad at myself over $10, right? I'm going, am I going to do this for $10?
How much gas did your truck take for that trip?
Oh, 12.
You definitely spent more, yeah. Now it's proven a point.
In my brain, I'm going, why are you doing this? It's $10, Jeff. It's $10. Stop the madness, but principle. So I went down to the Halifax Shopping Center. All right, I go there. The game's gone.
Oh no.
The game's gone off the wall.
Oh,
and I go
no.
I go up to the desk. I said, "Hey, you guys got Resident Evil for the Nintendo Switch?" They're like, "Yeah, we got it here." The fucking Resident Evil game is on the desk, like in behind on the desk. And
so this dude called up and said, "There's somebody on the way. You need to take him off the shelf."
Motherfucker peeled off the $39.99,
Yep.
put a $49.99
Yeah.
tag on there,
Yeah.
and handed me the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so fucking mad, bro, that I didn't even say a word. I just said, "Oh, okay, thank you." I said so. I was in disbelief that this motherfucker
Oh my
called
god,
up
dude.
the Halifax Shopping Center, warned them that I was coming, and the fucker took the $39.99 off the damn wall and changed the tag. But he wouldn't call because he knew that I was right, and he didn't want to give me the $10 difference from their fuck up.
I would have just gone there and returned the goddamn game.
Well, I was at that point. I was just salty. I was just so fucking salty, man. I rage ate Quiznos after that shit, man. I went to Quiznos and I rage ate that sub.
Bro, I want to let you know right now. I have all the respect in the world for you for just walking away from that situation, because I would have caused such a fucking shitstorm in that store and stripped that motherfucking minimum wage ass earning, dyed hair, tattooed, pierced, fuckboy, Starbucks drinking hipster motherfucker playing Farmville and fucking Animal Crossing until 5 a.m. and then working their 6-hour shit. Their shit, they would have been so fucking disappointed with themselves and their lives by the time I was done with them. They would have taken up a job at the fucking Quick Way at the bottom of the hill.
Not the food town?
I would have been fucking...
I was so mad that I just walked. Like there comes a time where there's no good that can come from any of this. I was so mad, bro. I knew what was going on because I saw the fucking game. It was these motherfuckers. I can just imagine as soon as I walked out that fucking door, that asshole called that store up and told them to take that game down. I guarantee it, dude. The shit was sitting on the desk. I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe it. So anyway, that was my EB Games story.
Oh my god!
And I still haven't opened up that game yet.
I can just see them because the one's Bayers Lake, right? That's the one that you went to. Okay, so I know the employees there. I could see them in my mind. And just was it like a couple of them? The guys all have long ass hair there.
No, this guy didn't.
He didn't have long hair.
No, he was a bigger guy. He wasn't, he was just a heftier guy. Kind of a not buzzed head, but sort of short hair. Anyway, and he was just a fucking asshole. Like, it reminded me, and this is nothing, I don't want to be that guy that's gonna shit on somebody for where they work. Fuck, man. When I was 19, 20 years old, man, working at EB Games would have been fun as fuck. In fact, I worked in electronics section, slinging video games and DVD players back then and shit. But it was like, the way it felt like he was on a power trip. Like he felt like he was the king of that jungle, and it's hard to explain, but just the way he was talking to me, the way that, he didn't have to answer to anybody above him. It was just one of these things where he knew that I had them by the balls, but he just was not willing to do any type of customer service. He didn't take into consideration the travel time back and forth. The fact that I was being nice to him when I went in, like I just went in normally, asked for the $10 and change difference. He was just being a cuck. And the fact that he told me to go down and take it up with Halifax.
As soon as you said that part of the story, I knew exactly what he was gonna fucking do, and he was gonna call because he had time with you were traveling there to call them up and then have some blue-haired fuckboy at the Halifax Shopping Center one do the switch. And I bet you that I bet you what happened was they got a shipment up from the GameStops, because they're the same company. They just changed it to EB back in Canada because Canada was like, fuck your American company. So they just changed the the name back to EB Games, but it's still the same company as GameStop.
Oh yeah, it's all the same.
So they guaranteed get a shipment up from the States that was pre-priced for the States at $39, and Canada would be $49, and the sticker price never got changed, and so it got shelved at $39, and now they're fucked. And if they make that change, then they've got to, they're going to have to eventually say, why is this game coming out at this price? Somebody's going to nail him for it eventually. Like, you can only hide that so many ways, and so he just didn't want to do that shit because they fucked up.
Yeah, and the game is $49.99. I went on the website, but I was like, you know what? Hey, it was on the shelves, and I honestly, I didn't know the game was $49.99 before any of this. Like, when I saw it originally, I was like, oh, it's $39.99, and the rest of the Switch games are like fucking $60-$70. And I'm like, all right, you know what? Hey, $39.99 Resident Evil. Hey, whatever. I'm gonna grab this. So like the $10 difference, it's only $10, but I mean, it really made me want the game. Like that, like the fact that it was cheap. I knew I probably wasn't gonna super enjoy the game anyway, and the fact that I traveled out somewhere else to go pick it up. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. That was that, and just some fuckboy shit, man. Just some
here's my customer service experience was in this whole office thing, buying in the new space. You know how I had a TV on the side of my setup, right? So we were sitting on the couch, like when we played Shadow of the Colossus and stuff, or when Brian's over, whatever. A separate place to sit down, because cramming two people on computer chairs next to a desk is like the shittiest fucking thing ever. So, my idea for the new office space was just have an in-between between my main monitor and the TV. So I've got a 43-inch Sony TV that was going to double as, or that's going to double as my monitor. I'm just going to sit further back, obviously, from it, so I don't fucking give myself a neck cramp. And then when we're sitting on the couch behind, it's on a wall mount. I'll pull it out. It comes out 20 inches, and then it's close enough that it will work as both, which is fire, right? So I went and bought this TV, brought it home, vertical banding right in the middle of the fucking screen, looked like a pile of dog shit. I was like, God damn it. So I took it back, had to wait for the snowstorm to pass, just like you had to wait for the snowstorm to pass. Took it back in, got another one, but I was like, this time I was like, can we just check the panel?
Can we turn this on?
So they take it out of the box and turn it on. Same problem. He was like, I've never seen that before. But before that happened, I had to drive to Dartmouth because they didn't have any more left in Halifax side. So I was like, fuck.
Rip.
So I went and did that anyway, and he was like, all right, I'm going to have to contact my Sony rep about this, because that's actually kind of fucking problematic that two panels in the same batch would be broken. He said, all right, well, there's none left in Halifax, so tomorrow we get another shipment in, just call them up and ask tomorrow, and the truck should come through. So I did, and so I went back into Halifax's store today, and we dragged out two more TVs before we found one that didn't have that problem.
Ooh.
I had the store manager, the floor manager, the fucking the expert in the TV, like home theater section, plus 3 customer service employees all huddled around this fucking section of the store, hauling out TVs and looking at it and talking about the problem and shit. And it was so weird.
Dude, people will that shit. If it's more than one and stuff, the stores have to go ham on the manufacturers and the vendors.
Well, they do. They have to send them all. They have to return to sender,
yeah,
and then they have to.
It's ridiculous.
And Sony Canada has to go. Okay, so our production line is fucked right now, and we need to figure that out, because odds are there's a bunch of people that bought this thing that maybe didn't notice it right away. Because me, I can notice fucking everything, but I mean,
Dead
even
pixel a mile away.
Yeah, anyone can notice this. You turn it on and it's just fucking there. So I don't know, but there are people that definitely own this TV that probably just think that because it's a relatively inexpensive TV that it's just part of the package. But they've got this busted ass TV, and so the store manager was like, "Oh, this is not good." But so all of that. So my experience was they all did a great job, and then they gave me $50 off of the TV at the end of the day.
Damn,
we found one. I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
There you go, worth
$50 off of a TV when the margins on that's like $4 is pretty good. So I'm
well,
happy.
They probably realized that you saved them a ton of money, and they're like, you know what?
Oh yeah, they just hooked me up or whatever. The TV
Yeah.
was $6.99, so I got it for like $6.49 or whatever. And
Nice.
yeah, it's cheaper than the
Nice.
monitors I was looking at. I was like, fuck, let's go.
Well, we've had very different experiences.
Yes, we did.
So,
We
yeah.
did. Yeah. No, it was great. So anyway, now that we've had great story times and we randomly interjected that with video game shit, who the fuck wants to hear about video game shit? Well, unfortunately, we
what
have
the fuck is
some
a video
more.
game? Okay.
Panic, I don't suppose you have a customer service story to talk about to just sort of we can hit the
Dude.
trifecta.
I work customer service at Best Buy and production support at a software company for like 10 fucking years.
You live the dream then is what you're telling me right now.
The
Seen it
dream.
all.
The dream.
I've had the bitchy suburban white woman with like bleach blonde hair come in and yell at me saying they need to speak to my manager because I'm incompetent, that they brought in a monitor and not the actual computer, and that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Rip.
Oh, God bless customer service. Well, I mean, the next thing on our list of things here actually kind of in some weird way relates to customer service. I don't know if you saw this email, Jeff, or if you saw my tweet about it, or you probably saw some other people tweeting about it. Twitch tried some really weird auto email bullshit
Oh my god,
this
is
week
glorious.
I
to
saw
try and retain subscribers, but I never actually got an email ahead of time saying that this was going to be a thing. It's just
Real
like they
talk,
showed up. They just showed up on the block and they were like, "Hey, we've got this new feature and it's like super cool and it's going to get you more subscribers to come back." And then you read it and it was like real talk for a second, and I already checked out as soon as I read that fucking. I was like, "No. The fuck is this shit?" And then we couldn't opt out of it. We didn't know it was like, and it was the worst messaging. I didn't see one single creator that said that they would want to use that because
Yeah,
it's
Twitch
like,
wasn't using it for you. They were using it for them.
it was for them, and it's like a guilt trip for people that like have to cancel subs or whatever, because people have
In
to
your
do
name.
things like buy food and put a roof over their head, and sometimes they can't afford to continue subscribing to 46 people on Twitch at once. So to have Twitch be like poking and prodding them like, hey, remember when you were subscribed to so-and-so? You should probably come back because it helps them, live and shit. And like, it was so shit and bad.
So-and-so really appreciated your support.
Yeah, oh my god, it was just awful messaging. And I don't know how it got through like the ranks, but it was just such a Twitch trying to make Twitch money thing that it was just, it stank. It was
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah.
It was dirty. Even so, I'll ask you this question: if you had the option of A, choosing what the message was, so typing it yourself, and B, being able to opt out of that entirely, would you be okay with that being a thing?
I mean, if it's something you can opt out of, then I mean, why would I? If there's
No,
people
would you
out-
use the feature?
Oh fuck no! I mean,
Yeah.
why would I use that? I mean, I'm not gonna. For one, I'm not gonna beg anybody to subscribe to my channel, right? That just comes off gross. And I also understand what Adam just said. People just sometimes can't afford to sub anymore, or
Yeah.
there's financial issues that come up out of the blue. And I can tell you from experience, I have had many people, dozens, possibly 100 plus over the course of my career that have been longtime subscribers and have wrote me a heart-filled message or an email or just flat out in the chat said it. I'm sorry, man. I can't. I just can't afford this anymore. Basically them apologizing to me
For not being able to
for
subscribe.
not being
yeah.
able to give me
Yeah, I've
money.
had that too. Yeah.
Because they do want to support you,
Yeah.
and they have been part of this community for a long time, and having those badges does mean something to people. It's a badge of honor. It's a loyalty badge, and people become attached to that. There's been times where I flat out have paid people, there were times where I've PayPal'd people money
Yeah.
so that they could stay subbed, because I understand how much the community means to them. Now you can gift people subs, which is amazing.
Makes it a lot easier.
And a lot of the time is I got fucking nerd ballers in my chat that will just straight
gift
up
them,
give
yeah.
people
Mhm.
subs if they can't afford to, like, yeah, I'm sorry, man, I can't. Next thing you know, you've got someone like Miyagi or somebody just throwing around fucking subs.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
people are like, holy shit. And the next thing you know, it next month or 2 months down the road, they're back on their feet. They have their subscription still going, and everything is cool. That's the community scratching the community's back. The last thing I'm going to do is after they already feel bad about unsubscribing is for me to remind them on how bad they should feel. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, it's been a little while, you know. It's like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Talk.
Yeah.
I bought when Kale and I first moved out, and we moved in together. This was back in fucking God. This was like 10 years ago. We went to Leon's Furniture, and we bought some furniture there, which was a bad life choice because they're super overpriced, expensive.
Yeah,
just
it's crazy
horrible,
there,
horrible
yeah.
markup. It's garbage there. But anyway, we were young, didn't know much, and fucking went out and we wanted new furniture for the place. So we ended up buying some new furniture. And still to this day, 10 years later, I get a random call once a year, usually around the holidays, from Leon's Furniture.
Would you
And-
like to come
and-
back and spend some more money?
And it's yes, and it's literally, it's not even a person, it's a recorded message.
Yeah, yeah.
And I get like, hi, it's John, manager at Leon's. Just want to remind you that we have sales coming and we haven't seen you in quite some time. Come on down to Leon's. And it just stinks, right? There's no effort involved.
No,
There's
no
nothing.
personal. Not
It's
personal. at all.
nothing
At
personal.
no point does that make you go, yeah, I think
gonna
I'd
go
like
see
to go
Leon.
back and spend some more money there.
It makes me want to, it literally makes me want to shit on the doorstep of Leon's. That's what it makes me want to do. Makes me want to go drop a deuce in the front fucking stairs of the establishment. So no, if there's an option and there are some people that want to do that, I can see the financial benefit of doing that.
Sure.
But it stinks. You know what I mean? If people can't sub or they don't like you, watch your stream anymore, or they just don't want to sub to you anymore, they don't need to be reminded that that has happened. Here's a better solution, and then I'll shut up about this. This is the best possible solution Twitch can do, hands down. And Twitch, if you're listening, which I highly doubt you are, but if you're listening or whatever, the way, if you want it, because this was Twitch trying to get more subs for Twitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
This had nothing.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with the partners. I mean, it does, because you're paying but they're using the partner's name in vain, right? They're because I'm not actually saying what they said. I was thinking, or hey, it's been a minute. Real talk, or whatever the hell they
real
they said.
talk for
Whatever
a minute.
they said. This is what they can do to get more subs. And it's a very simple, actually it's probably not that simple, because you'd think it would have already been done by now. When you go live, try sending out all of the emails to your fucking followers so that they know you still stream.
Impossible.
Because when you do that, the viewers will show up, and in turn, they will subscribe to you.
Not possible,
But instead,
Jeff,
But
we don't
instead-
need your logic. Get out of here.
But instead, we've got 5 streamers on Twitch and a bunch of ASMR and cam girls in the IRL section. Yeah, I said cam girls. Deal with it.
Oh, that's a
On the
bannable
I-
offense
I don't give a
now.
Come on. And in the IRL section, and those are the only places that people will look for content. Is Dr. Disrespect streaming? Is Ninja, streaming with Drake?
Yeah.
Is Summit on? Is whatchamacallit on? And let me go and see what kind of fucking crazy shit is going on in the IRL section. And that's it. That's the show. Because people you don't even get emails. Like, people come to my stream and they're like, dude, where the fuck have you been? I'm like, bro, on the stream for the last 12 days straight. It's like, I haven't gotten a damn email and God since 2014. And you know what? If they just sent out emails to people, that would be the show.
Dude.
How much? You'd get so much more money.
Dude, it's just look. Here's the thing, Jeff.
They forgot to upgrade their certificate the other day. You think they're gonna know how to send email?
Yeah, bro. Okay, Panic. I'm gonna ask you actually this because you would know more than I would by miles. But I'm gonna spew some ignorant bullshit here, and you can tell me just how far off the mark I am. All right. So Twitch announced, this was like a while ago now, like year or two or more, that they had successfully migrated off of the original Justin TV server infrastructure to AWS in its entirety. And it took them forever to make it happen, which is, fine. Legacy systems are a bitch to try and make it happen, but they got there. So they're on AWS. Now, to my knowledge, my infinitesimally small knowledge about this subject, AWS comes with certs that are already automatically updating for them. So how the fuck does Twitch manage to not have their certs auto-update? How does that slide? How does that even happen?
The cert auto-update on AWS is usually not for bespoke applications, but it's for if you're only using certain pieces of the infrastructure, that you can have it work, especially if you're just using it as like a web server or as like a service for your website itself.
Okay.
Like Twitch has probably got like a ton of stuff. And from what I understand, it wasn't like the general Twitch cert. It was like the one that was like buried for the video player specifically.
Not important at all.
So here's the thing, like, I personally have never forgotten to update a cert, but it happens pretty often.
Sure.
I have like a world will end if you don't update this alert thing for me. And it goes off like a month before and then like 2 weeks before.
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is some of these certs will last for like 3 to 4 years. So the person who issued them and put them in might be long freaking gone.
Mm-hmm.
So they might not have even known that this cert was there. So I'll give them a little bit of credit, but at the same time, they should have probably known.
Yeah.
Especially after like Oculus happened, they should have been like, "Hey guys, we should probably check our certs."
Yeah, I wonder if we have any certs coming up that we should maybe be concerned about after that catastrophe.
Oh, yeah, we got like a giant database of them. Like if you get like, for me at least where I work, it's like if you build an app, you have to register it. If you get a cert, you have to register it and you have to give them the expiration date, and then they will also take care of it for you. They'll be like, "Yo, you need to fix this shit."
It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, so
still hysterical.
Yeah, it's still definitely funny. But okay, can I just say that I feel like that one, I'm kind of happy I haven't been streaming lately because Twitch has had like a fucking shitload of nonsense in the last week or so.
I was amazed yesterday during the whole Ninja Drake
that
Fortnite
nothing
bullshit.
Happened.
It didn't break. It worked perfectly, and I'm just like,
well,
how?
Nobody was streaming. Everybody was watching Ninja and Drake. It was
single
Twitch
stream
Ninja Drake show.
600,000 people on one
trending
stream.
on Twitter. Literally trending on Twitter. I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I saw it.
There was Drake, Ninja, Juju.
There was some 700
Kim or some shit.
There was like
Fortnite.
700,000 tweets about that specific topic.
Yeah, dude. And then today it was on like Sports Desk. It was on like all these hip hop things. Like it was all over, it was everywhere.
It's I mean, and that's actually a topic. I guess we can just spiral that into that. But I was just gonna say, I feel like Twitch is like death by 1,000 cuts lately, trying to operate on the website. Something is broken every fucking day, and I still just don't. I just don't understand. My feeble little non-programming, non-IT specialist mind cannot fathom the ways in which the core infrastructure of this website just fucking breaks so frequently, and how we can't get email notifications out to people in the year 2018. I mean, I understand that if people like go live and then go off and then go live again, and somebody has like 40,000, 50,000 followers, or like Ninja with like 6 billion fucking followers.
For me to leave Twitch alone about the email thing, they just need to prove out that it's leaving their node, like what their mail nodes, whatever. If they can prove that it's leaving them, I'm be like, all right, you guys did what you could.
Then it's somebody else's problem.
Yeah, like somewhere in the middle, or relay or something, you might be getting blocked. Whatever. Okay, I can let that slide.
Yeah.
But they just ignore the problem. So I'm just like, yeah, no.
It's just weird.
I only brought that up because it seems like they'd make a lot more money just from telling people,
being reliable.
Like, that is a way of telling your fans, hey, I'm alive, come, don't forget about me.
Yeah.
It's sort of the same thing on what they were trying to accomplish there. And listen, people want to give you money. You just got to give them a reason to give you money. And if you're streaming and they know you're streaming and they're hanging out,
that's
going
going to increase the chance of that happening.
They are likely going to support you in some way.
And when I saw that email, literally the one thing that immediately went through my head was that friggin' DJ Khaled, congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
And I was just like,
but you know what?
Son of a bitch.
I gotta hand it to Twitch. They did go publicly and said,
and they
boys, we
backed out of it. Yeah.
We fucked up on that one. That's our bad. And they even talked about the little quote they said, like they poked fun at themselves. So
sorry for using real talk.
Yeah, sorry for using real talk. Twitch is cool like that. And at the same time, we can be hard on them. Listen, dude, you see the biggest Twitch stars on Twitch just shit on Twitch on Twitter.
Yeah,
like they'll go to Twitter and they'll just be like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't even know what I'm streaming on anymore. You know what I mean? Like they basically say everything under the sun except for I'm moving a mixer. That's like the only thing I'm not hearing them say.
I mean, it really and truly is still to this day Twitch's largest, I guess, strength is the for all intents and purposes lack of any competition from anyone outside of them. That's really it. And I don't want to minimize what Twitch has done and what they've produced and what they've created in terms of like this space and fostered and everything, because they've done a lot.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
They've done amazing. But if I'm going to be real, there is a lot going on that if I was working at Twitch, I would actually just flat out be disappointed about the fact that I was working there because of the quality.
When they were talking about how they have their systems infrastructure built out.
Yeah.
I was just like, I
do hope that eventually it's probably going to be long after we're gone. There's going to be a competitor that's an honest to God competitor to Twitch. And only then will we really see what Twitch is made of. Because right now, we're not really seeing what Twitch is made of. We're just seeing what Twitch is made of with the only real incentive being we got bought out by Amazon and we need to make some money back for the people that bought us out now. So we need to come up with as many ways as possible.
It's one of those things where Twitch, it still feels like, and this is what I love. And there isn't nothing really that I hate about Twitch. I'll be honest. Like I know that because I'm not as
hate's just a strong word.
It's just
Or there's really not a lot that I dislike even about Twitch because I'm a very simple guy.
Yeah.
As long as my stream boots up and it's not crashing, I'm a pretty basic guy. But there are streamers like Adam and other people that look into the finer things and really want the quality and really want the full experience. And I get that, man. And some people build their brand sort of around that sort of that quality and that standard. For me, that's not it at all. But one thing that I've noticed that Twitch has always done and still to this day, that is a love and hate for some people or dislike to the point where you can bitch, is Twitch has never felt like they've made it. Like Twitch has never felt like they know what they're doing. It's always been a process of growth. It's always been a process of we're trying shit out and we're throwing shit at the wall and we're gonna see what sticks and we're gonna run with what's working. We're gonna try and forget about what's not working. And we're just going to go with it. We're young. We're just doing it. And that's one thing that I do love about Twitch is that it doesn't feel too corporate. But at the same time, you almost need that.
There's a difference between a company being built with a strong corporate backbone and having a youthful face, and then having a youthful face and a not particularly strong corporate backbone, right? Like there's a definite line there that many companies are perfectly capable of merging those two things together. They have this strong backbone that's built on you know, a more serious kind of structure, and then the more, you know, ad hoc laissez-faire kind of relaxed, you know,
Yeah.
hipster vibe bullshit, whatever you want to have, public facing is dealt with differently. But yeah, it does. I agree. It feels like it's never found some sort of, even like at some, and that's why I pick at the core product so much, is that I feel like if there's going to be stability, you should probably have it be at the core of the product. You know, it's nice having a excuse me, all of this peripheral stuff going on, but you want to believe that at the end of the day, the core of the product, you know, what the whole thing is built on, is just going to work.
I found the perfect analysis for this. I think Jeff will actually resonate with this.
Okay.
But remember remember that game that came out, like the survival building game Rust, that came out like a couple years ago?
Oh, who can forget the dongs?
Yeah, you know how you'd like go through all that effort to build up that little tiny shitty core of a building?
Yes.
And then, you know what? I need to expand out a little bit. So you build out you know, another shitty component, just like an outer area. Then eventually you'll build less shitty pieces all along the outside, but you never quite went back and fixed that shitty core inside piece. And that's where the grenade lands when the guy throws it at you. And the entire thing falls apart.
Yeah, I like that.
That's
Yeah.
how Twitch develops their product, unfortunately.
But you know, and I'll say this one last thing.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of stuff with Twitch.
but it's a
I've been
hard
very
task.
I've been very fortunate. They treat me very well, and we've got a good relationship, man. Like I listen, I have nothing, quite literally, and I'm not the guy to really to bitch and complain. I sometimes poke a little bit of fun, but I'm honest to God, I'm pretty happy with what Twitch is, especially when we've seen things like yesterday go down. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, of course.
But I can honestly say I have traveled with Twitch. I've been at dinners with Twitch and all the guys that are running the different departments. You know, I've had some drinks. I've had serious conversations. I've done business. You know, they write my checks, all this stuff. And I can say that they really do care about their streamers, and they really make it fun, and they really are professional on a business level. Whenever I've done,
from I hear they pay on time, which is the biggest thing in the world.
They pay on time. They're super transparent. They give plenty. I've done a lot of different events and things with them, and there's no like last minute shit. They give your schedule when you go places. Everything is planned out nicely. They take care of you. They listen. They actually listen.
From a soft skill side, they're all set.
They
Soft skill
really,
side, they got it nailed. Like I've had no problems with them soft skills wise. Tech wise though, they're a little iffy. But it's a hard problem.
It's all tech. It really honestly is tech. They know how, they get it, man. They fucking get it. The guys that are running the departments, they're running them for a reason. Like socially, at least I'm talking this on a streamer standpoint. Like I can't say what it's like when they make like, you know, ad business and they talk in a different company. I have no idea. But I know on a streamer standpoint, these guys crush it. They fucking do. You go to a TwitchCon, you go anywhere, dude, they treat you like a rock star. And it's pretty incredible. So that they have going for them. It's some of this other stuff that, you know, it's like, damn, if they were half as good at tech and how the site functions as they are with the streamer relations, god damn. I mean, ain't nobody ever gonna touch them. They just wouldn't. And maybe, and I don't know, this is my point of view. Maybe other streamers have bad experiences, but I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah. No, it's true. They have a lot nailed down. It's just, I just question shit when this kind of thing pops up, and obviously they backpedaled on it, and that's great, and I want to applaud them for it. But I also, one side of me says, how did that even fucking happen in the first place?
Yeah,
like that kind of shit. Like yeah, they have, you know, we've known various people in the company for years because we've been around a long time, and obviously the vast majority of them are all really great people, and they do, you know, care about them. I feel like there's some degrees, and it's impossible for this not to happen, but there's degrees of separation. So, you know, when you're in the room with them and you know that you have to be there for something, you know, they're going to put, they put that effort in to make, you know, and make every effort to make all that happen. But the degrees of separation and the sheer number of partners and stuff come into play, and it's, I don't know, that kind of communication and that relationship breaks down to a degree until you are of a certain size. Then it, you know, it changes.
Of course.
And that's a problem that they're always going to have, and it's only going to get worse. But yeah, for me, all I'm looking for, because like you said, they've got all that, and like Panic said, their soft skill side, all that shit's down. That's great that they care for the streamers and everything, despite the fact that they come up with these programs that, you know, would make you question it sometimes. But, you know, they have that part nailed down. But from the tech side, it's just, I just want
it's Rust.
The core to fucking work.
That is, I like what Panic said there. I think he fucking nailed it.
I took a while. I was thinking about it,
it is Rust.
I'm a developer for a living, so I understand what they're going through, and I get that it's a hard problem. And we talked about it a couple of podcasts ago with the whole tech debt thing. But if they really want to nail it, they just have to buckle down and do. They've been working on it, so I'll give them props for that. Like, they've been making changes here and there, and they've been having less catastrophic downtimes when they change something. But there's still a lot of work to do. So I'm hoping they put more focus on that.
They'll get there,
especially with Amazon there.
I'm trying to come up with a clever segue into this, but I'm coming up blank right now. Skyrim VR.
Whoa.
Oh no, we won't do that.
Fuck Skyrim.
Sorry. We didn't even. I forgot. We only passively talked about Ninja and Fortnite and Drake and shit. All right, God's plan. So I don't even know how this came to be. I don't know. Honest to God,
I was watching.
So how did this go down?
Well, I don't know exactly, but this was my experience with it.
Okay.
I was watching Ninja.
All right.
Which I can. This says a lot about Ninja, and I'll talk. We'll talk about Ninja.
Sure.
I was watching Ninja stream, and I never, ever watch anybody play video games under any circumstance unless it's like you. And I'm just hanging out, and I'm more there talking to you in the chat and just got you on his back. I never watch. Dude, I play video games all the last thing I want to fucking do, sit down and watch people play video games. But I'll admit it. I watch a bit of Ninja. I just watch a bit of Ninja. And I was watching his stream, and he was just crushing life. And yo, Miyagi, I can still sing on stream, bro. I can't do Sex Weapon anymore. It sucks. But anyway,
they ripped your voice out, Jeff.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm gonna think of something clever while
did your balls come out with the voice
to get around some of this. So I'm watching Ninja stream, and he just randomly goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna be playing some Fortnite with Drake." Right, and the whole chat was just like a bunch of tryhard symbols came.
Oh yeah, boy, of course,
emotes, right?
Yeah, immediately.
And it was kind of like fitting because it was the whole, you know.
Like, for the first time, it was used partially with racist intent, and also it just kind of fit the situation anyway.
There's a Twitch streamer named Drake now.
Yeah. I wasn't even mad about it. I kind of chuckled when I saw the tryhards. I'm like, all right,
fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
And then people were in chat like, what? And he's like, yeah. I'm going to be playing some Fortnite with Drake. I got his number.
How do you just casually drop that shit?
So I'm like, yeah, okay, bud. And then all of a sudden, I'm on Facebook, right? And I'm on my own personal Facebook,
right?
Looking at wedding pictures from a friend of mine who just got married in Jamaica. And I'm sitting there, and I see a little notification. I click on it, and some random guy that I think I've talked to twice posts, Drake and Ninja are breaking Twitch. And I was like, the fuck? Are you serious? So I went over to Ninja stream, and the second thing I hear Drake say, the second, and this was the one where there's like 600,000 people.
Yeah.
And Ninja's down to 14 health.
Yeah.
And
I watched that. Yeah.
He's banging people over. I couldn't even. Anyway, he's banging people over, and Drake's dead. And he goes,
he was dead for like 15 minutes.
He was dead for a while. Drake's dead, but Drake is doing commentary essentially on Ninja shit, right? And I'm hearing Drake's voice. I'm trying to process this. And then Ninja fucks, like, he builds like a tower around him in 0.2 seconds. Like, I don't even know how he clicks the way he clicks and shit, because when I'm building shit, I gotta, like, you know, I'm fine at clicking the buttons, but it's just trying to line shit up.
We're old, Jeff.
Yeah, so anyway, this motherfucker, he builds a tower, and then he jumps off the top of the tower, 360 spins, shoots a guy in the face with a shotgun, kills him, and then Drake goes, he's like, oh, Ninja, the god. And I heard, when I heard Drake call Ninja
a god,
and Ninja had this stupid fucking smile on his face, like he made it in life, and that's it. Like, at that point, I would have just died. I'd have been like, you know what?
All right, can we appreciate that he just played? Okay, first of all, the stages.
Ninja the god, right? Okay, was it.
He's playing Fortnite with Drake. All right, step one. A month and a half ago, Ninja was just another mid-tier streamer. Okay. Like, 6 weeks goes in, now he's the top streamer. His YouTube blows up, pushing 10 million subscribers and shit. All right? He's just blowing up everywhere. Twitter blowing up, Facebook blowing up, Instagram blowing up. Just all of it, all pushing the millions and millions. And then he gets and plays, he becomes a Fortnite god. And honestly, there's nobody that even approaches the skill level of Ninja.
No.
It's not even close.
It's not even close.
There's a guy that Doc plays with that I would say is about 80% of Ninja, and Ninja still has another solid 20% of skill over top of that guy. And even that dude is a fucking god at the video games. So, like, single-handedly winning squad matches by all the time and shit. But Ninja's a different fucking beast. So he's got everything going for him. He's young. All right, I believe Ninja's married, to my knowledge, or he's got the wifey on lock. All right, so he's got. Well, this just blew. Yeah, he's just blown up, right? So in this short period of time, he's got all this going for him. He's young. He's got that energy that is attractive to young audience. The 10 to 16 range that makes up such a fucking astronomical amount of the viewership, more specifically on YouTube than Twitch, but Twitch is growing in that regard. And so you've got that coupled with the fact that he's playing the most popular game in the YouTube and Twitch sphere right now, while being a god at it. And then he blows the fuck up. He's got, like, routinely just hundreds of thousands of people watching him. Then he plays with fucking Drake. And this is all, again, I stress, this is like in a 6 fucking week period this shit happens. People are trying to figure out if he's got bots subbing to him and shit, because he's got so many subscribers and stuff now.
You see his friggin' Twitch Prime plug?
He's making
amazing.
He's making like $2 million a month right now, easy.
Yeah. Dude, before I was like, he's making $1 million a month. Fuck no.
He's
making more money than Drake.
Big money.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Dude.
So all this, then he starts playing with Drake. Now, most people would be breaking under the pressure of playing with fucking Drake in front of 600,000 people. Okay? 600,000. Imagine that. Just try to put that in your mind. All right. Imagine going.
And it's not like a team thing. It's just you.
No, it's just you, because it's
Drake ain't Michael Jackson concert in his prime.
Drake's
put 600,000 people in a field.
Yeah.
And just think about that for a second.
Exactly. Think about it. Going to the Thunderdome. All right. You're going to the Super Bowl, and people were like, "Oh, that's pretty crazy."
Don't have that many people in the stadiums, bro.
Oh my God. No, granted, Super Bowl, obviously the home viewership's fucking huge, but you know what I mean. Like, imagine 600,000 people, and then you got Drake sitting next to you playing fucking games with you, and you know Drake ain't gonna pull his weight.
Commentary.
You know, Drake's gonna fucking die in the first 5 minutes, and then you've got to play, you know, now you're playing to win by yourself in this crazy high-stress situation. And then he goes ahead and fucking does it. Yeah. And he does it with style, with 14 health, 360 fucking rips this dude. After throwing the fucking like grenade launcher shit in, and he's like having this casual, like, you didn't see the whole match. I watched that whole match. He's having this casual conversation with Drake. Then he'll hear a gunshot, and he'll say, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And Drake's like, "Yeah, I hear that shit," you know. And then Drake goes hard, like fucking hard, try hard mode for like fucking, you know, whatever, the 30 seconds. ends up getting like a couple items, says, here, just take all my items, just gives it all the ninja, and then they go right back to this casual conversation, and my mind was being fucked on so many levels. And then Drake low-key drops this line like, hey, I've got like these 4 other rappers and this football player that might like to hit us up because I'm seeing them online right now, and that'd be cool, maybe we squad up. And then Ninja's like, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm like, the fuck you mean that sounds good, bitch?
Dude, it's so fucked up. I was on Twitter. Dude, I stayed up till about 4:30 in the morning watching this shit, till the point where I had a headache and I just had to get off. And I'm on Twitter, dude, because the memes were just fucking so great. I mean, I hadn't...
Oh my god, the memes.
They're on another level, dude.
Oh, it's incredible.
Dude, I took 2 hours out of my day today
just watch
to
it,
go
just
through
look
the
at
Twitter
memes.
And it was just incredible, dude. I mean, everybody was spitting out memes.
Oh, they're so good.
Dude, there were rappers on rappers on Twitter asking on Twitter if they could join in on this. Like people, there was campaigns of people that were coming in.
Yes.
Going, yo, Logic wants in, bro. Yo, Post Malone, get him in here. You'd have like these random ass rappers, right? And the craziest part about all of this is Ninja is cooler than a motherfucker.
Cool as a cucumber the whole time.
He's not making it awkward.
No.
Like he said a couple of things where you could tell
he was trying to make him laugh and shit.
Some of the black was starting to his urban
increased a bit.
Whatever was, it went up about 13.5%.
Yeah.
Which is cool because there's some really white kids out there when surrounded by a whole bunch of black dudes
100%.
that will just out of awkwardness and weird shit, they will say some shit where you're going.
I'm gonna be real. If I'm playing Fortnite with Drake for 600,000 people, I'm accidentally dropping the N-bomb, no question.
Dude, but Ninja, dude, I didn't even hear Ninja say YOLO.
No,
right?
Nothing.
He didn't say any. He wasn't asking Drake any questions. Like he wasn't making it awkward.
No,
he wasn't taking the opportunity
like a normal
to
person.
be. Yeah, like he literally. It felt like they had been playing Fortnite together
for weeks,
for forever. Like that they were just boys queuing up, and it was Drake's voice, and all I could do was picture Drake in a $30 million mansion with a bowl of weed and whatever he was snacking on. And like, yo, can I get fucking like Lil Wayne in here if you don't mind, like, bro? And Ninja's like, you know what, we're a little full now, but as soon as somebody drops out, we'll get in Yeezy.
Look, as soon as Ye drops out of the squad, we'll hook up real quick.
You know, we'll get him in here. It's fucked up, and you know what? Every part of my body, all right, from a guy that has been on the grind for a long time. Every fiber of my body tells me that I should hate this guy. I should hate him because he's so fucking successful and so fucking awesome that I should just be jealous and envious to the point where I just don't even want to watch. But I have to actually call him the god, just like Drake did, because Ninja,
he knocked everyone out.
He hit that demographic. He isn't controversial.
It's the perfect storm, bro.
He's the grinder. He's been doing it for years. He's over the top. No. He's a fucking bro. He's
literally
he's
the
the
only
guy
way
that I would fucking play games with.
The only way that and it might even hurt him, but the only part of the package is like the entertainment part, because his entertainment comes from his skill.
Yeah.
Right? So like the only thing he doesn't have is a theatric piece. Otherwise he has
need it.
But he doesn't. Well, that's what I mean. But
he's so freaking good.
But that's what I mean, is that it's the only thing. Not that he needs it, but on the, like in the Venn diagram of streamer qualities that you can place people in to find out just how fucking successful they're going to be. He hits on almost every fucking overlap except like one, which is almost it's unheard of. It doesn't exist anywhere else. It's
he's Faker.
It's complete madness.
If Faker could speak English and he was a great streamer, you know, that's what he is. He's like a foreigner. He's a foreigner Korean god, and you don't need the Dr. Disrespect theatrics. that shit works for Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that Dr. Disrespect is an above average gamer as well.
Yeah.
He's just really fucking good.
Yeah.
But there are levels to this shit, bro.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing it. I mean, if I can't even look at Dr. Disrespect's Fortnite streams. If Ninja's streaming, there is nobody that exists.
No.
All right? You know,
No.
if I'm streaming Fortnite, I'm getting off to watch Ninja stream Fortnite. That's
Yeah,
how
you don't watch anyone else.
You don't
Like, and people are watching all these big number streamers playing Fortnite, and they're like, I'm gonna play some Fortnite. And then they go on and they realize nobody's watching them. It's because nobody gives a fuck. There are 3 people that people want to watch play Fortnite, and you are not one of them. It's just not the case. I play PUBG, and I'll get above average viewership. I play Fortnite, and I've got 4 people and a dog watching me play Fortnite, and the dog is asleep. That's pretty much what it's like.
It was just it was incredible to see. I've never been so happy for a streamer than I think I've ever been.
Talk about a meteoric rise. Like like he's been streaming for a long time, but so you don't want to call it a meteoric rise, but if you looked at like a graph, if there was a line graph,
he became a star overnight.
It was just like this, whatever, and then a vertical fucking line.
Bro, he went from, you know what? I've got a really solid cable TV starring role that has been on the air for 4 years.
Yep.
And our ratings are, above average. We just keep getting signed every year, and we've got some diehard fans, and it's great.
Absolutely.
To, hey, I'm Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and Denzel Washington all in one. Overnight, like you went
Denzel
from,
keeps calling me to be in his movie, but I don't got time.
It's absolutely insane, dude. It's fucking insane. And I went to a stream today. Now he's got like 150,000 viewers, right? Because after last night, the guy,
the average is just going to be just.
It was, and the thing is, he didn't have to go cheat on his wife to do that. And I don't want to take, it's a little shock, but it was sort of the same thing. It was like when this thing happened, it was the same, but it was like a good thing. It was like there's no bullshit around this guy, or at least that I see. I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, he could be. I have no idea.
That's gonna be his challenge now. That's gonna be his challenge now. Is that not only is he the face of Twitch, but he's the face of Twitch by orders of magnitude. So he's now he has to, expectations for him to not fuck up are going to be super high. And obviously he's got a cool head, but it will be, I'm sure for him, quite a challenge to keep everything going, because that shit will break anyone. You get that kind of pressure for long periods of time. That shit's gonna break anyone.
But bro, if he can keep this up for 6 months to a year or two,
he just retires.
Dude,
yeah, he does it fair.
He could keep this up for another 3 weeks, bro.
Yeah, and he's done.
Probably already set for life.
That's
the
true.
The guy's got 180,000 subscribers. He's going to have
he's up to 180,000?
Yes.
He's going.
Oh my god.
He's gonna have more subs than I do followers.
So
he's the most followed streamer on Twitch. He's got like 3.3 million followers or some shit. He's got 180,000 subs. He mentions Twitch Prime.
He's getting
just
$4 a sub.
Cheeky little fucking, hey guys, there's a little Twitch Prime button up there if you guys want to subscribe. As soon as it says that shit, he got about 2,000 or 3,000 subs in the span of like 50 seconds. I couldn't believe it, bro. I took a second, I put my laptop down, I looked around at my room and my ceiling, and I said, is this real life? What is going on
did that just happen?
What is this guy's a fucking god, dude? He's a ninja in all aspects. He was quiet. He snuck up on everybody, and then he fucking strike.
Surprise,
and that was
motherfucker!
It. Deal with it. I'm a fucking ninja.
So the thing I was gonna say was ridiculous about this whole thing is Twitch had to pay like $20 million to Blizzard so that they can exclusively show Overwatch League for 100,000 viewers, maybe a couple of times a week.
Yep.
Twitch pretty much is making more money off of Ninja than
Ninja.
They're making more money off of Ninja than
that's probably the biggest challenge for groups and esports tournaments, is that at the end of the day you're talking big money, but you've got individual streamers that are literally putting you to shame.
Yeah.
and you know
But it
that's
tells
just
you a
the
lot
reality.
too, right?
Yeah.
It tells you that
The money is there, but you
there's a
need to keep
place
selling.
there's a place for esports. There's a
Yeah,
place
of
for
course.
teams, but ultimately connection and
with the streamer, yeah.
with
The
the
personality.
streamer and the personality, it just trumps everything. It just does. That's just the reality of it.
I'm literally
And-
watching him dance to Pon Pon right now.
It's crazy, man. You know, kudos to him. That was a big
done.
moment for gaming. It was a huge moment for Twitch.
Yeah.
I was in his chat and I clicked on the chat list, and there was a minimum of 200 Twitch staff.
Yeah.
It took me about 4 or 5 seconds to spamming down the scroll thing to go through the Twitch staff that were just chilling on his stream watching, because I couldn't imagine head office at Twitch just seeing what was going on. I mean, every massive celebrity in the hip hop world, sports world, you name it, was tweeting out about Twitch, was tweeting out about Ninja and Drake and all this other stuff, and more celebrities were coming in. And this is the first session. They said multiple times, "Oh, we need to do this more often." So even if it's a once every 3 months, once every month, hanging out with Drake, Ninja and Drake, who's going to be on with them next, right? Who's going to come on here? And the thing is, what's crazy is he's so big that now he's bringing value to these celebrities.
Yep.
Where the celebrities are going to come on, and if they got an album coming out, you know, they've got a movie coming out.
Yep.
They've got whatever coming out.
Yep.
They have a reason to be there. It's this.
I guarantee you, some celebrities are going to look at this and they're going to be like, "This guy is making ridiculous amounts of money just from playing video games."
Look,
And I guarantee you, some celebs are going to come over to try to do it as well.
Well, they already
Or shit.
have. They already have.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's-
you
You know,
got
like some of the
fucking-
bigger names, you know, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's going to bring it elevates Twitch in the mindshare for a lot of people. Because
But
a lot of
think-
people
think
were just
about
like,
it.
"Oh yeah, this is just lame thing for
And
gamers or whatever."
Yeah, exactly. But think about it this way. You know, we talk about the concurrent number, but the concurrent number is all fine and good. But what the number you really want to know is the unique views that fucking
Yeah.
stream got. Because
many.
that's the advertising value, right? So,
Yep.
like Jeff's talking about, is if you thought about it on the surface, you're like, oh, it's like 600,000, you know, it's whatever. No, it's
Way
not
more than
600,000. I get in an average stream 700 unique people will roll through on an average day for me watching my stream. Okay, I average like 80 to 115 viewers. All right,
Dude,
I
there's
want you to
5
just
million.
yeah,
I just
there you
looked
go.
at his
There you
analytic.
go.
5 million, and that's
5
on
million
social
people.
blade. I have no idea how
It's probably
accurate.
more than that.
It's probably more. And he got almost 250,000
All the Twitter
followers.
impression and all that push.
All of that shit, all of
across
that.
the
Do you know what
entire
that
footprint
so,
is ridiculous.
For Drake, that's fucking huge.
Oh yeah, God's plan. Yeah.
God's plan, bro.
Can you imagine when Drake comes out with a new single or album, and he's going on there?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna be releasing one of my singles on Ninja Stream. Ninja's gonna be playing my song, and the world's gonna hear it first on Ninja Stream. Tune in if you want to get a sneak peek at the album. You can do crazy shit like that.
You know what?
I'm telling you.
You know
man.
what? Drake's gonna start fucking streaming from the studio or some shit. All right, and he's gonna call his stream "Views from the Six." You fucking watch. I'm fucking telling you right now. That's gonna be the fucking stream.
I still think Drake is way too big for this. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
absolutely. He's fucking
but
huge.
I think for him, it's fun. It's a way to add to your brand, to have some fun. If you're gonna play Fortnite anyway, why
He
not
plays
play it
Fortnite
with
to just
fucking
unwind or
Ninja?
whatever. Yeah.
Have the best experience, because also you got to imagine, dude, Drake was playing him for a few hours.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know,
yeah.
this is a busy This is Drake.
This is a busy
This
dude.
isn't. That we're not talking about fucking Andy Milanakis or whatever
This
the
wasn't
hell
like
that
a
kid's
1
name,
hour,
that
very like
man kid's
tightly
name is.
planned thing.
This is Drake. Now, this is one of the biggest artists on the planet, right? This is like if Justin Bieber decided to come and hang out with Ninja and play some shit, right? This is a big deal. And the fact that he was on here for a few hours and having fun, genuinely laughing, you could hear it. Like,
Well,
the dude,
Drake is okay, let's be real, all right?
Drake's a
Now,
happy
we
guy.
know that we gave you guys Justin Bieber, and I apologize. All right? That's our bad. You know, he got a little bit of that
Nickelback.
Macaulay Culkin,
Avril Lavigne.
childhood star syndrome going on, and we apologize for that, all right?
When are you going to apologize for Nickelback, Adam?
Never.
I like Bieber.
Never.
I like
All right. I like Bieber's music to a degree. I hate what he's like as a person right now, but that's beside the point. Drake is a laid back Canadian motherfucker. You see it in his music, you see it in how he acts outside of his music. The God's Plan thing, the music video he did for that, the amount of fucking money that dude just threw around and just changing lives and shit. That's just Drake. So it didn't surprise me. Was it a mind fuck that it happened? Yes, but like, does it surprise me that he sat down for a few hours and just chilled and fucking played some Fortnite and gave
He's
her a
the
rip?
same guy that went to King of the Dot all the time.
Exactly.
And to these rap battles.
Rap
for those that
battles
don't
and
know.
stuff, yeah.
Because he's from Toronto, and King of the Dot. I battled in King of the Dot years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And Drake would show up to these events, sponsor them, hang out. He even skipped the Grammys 1 year to be at the event.
Yeah.
Guy is humble as fuck. Ain't nobody paying him to be there.
No.
Ain't nobody paying him to come and hang out with Ninja. Ninja was like, yo, one sec, Drake, I'm gonna text you, this guy's ad. It's like, he's in. He's in now. And it's just incredible. Like, Drake obviously is a super humble dude. He could have been a dick. He could have been awkward. He could have, done it for 30 minutes and felt like, oh, I'm giving this guy too much shine. It wasn't about Drake.
Yeah.
It was about Fortnite gaming, bringing people together,
Just having fun,
and having fun. And that is what Twitch is all about. And Twitch shined so bright yesterday that it was incredible. Like, it really was. I even dreamed about Drake last night. I swear to God, I swear on my mom's life, I dreamed about Drake last night.
God's plan.
Except that we weren't playing video games. We were talking about cars. And he was hanging out at my house, and we were talking about vehicles and shit.
Let's be real. Drake drives a Toyota Corolla.
Straight up. But it was awesome, dude. It was awesome. Shout outs to Ninja, shout outs to Twitch. And Twitch didn't shut down. The site didn't go to shit. They were tweeting out some funny ass memes and all this other. It was
what?
Cool,
all right,
man.
so just to tie this in a little bit more here with the kind of the battle in the genre space, right? Between the Fortnite and the PUBG. Drake low key fucking burned PUBG for not fucking updating and how Fortnite was just he talked about why he thought Fortnite was successful. He talked about that shit, and everything that came out of his mouth was pure fucking truth. And it's not news to anyone, but to hear it from Drake, and then to have that be on the #1 Fortnite stream in front of 600,000 concurrent, 5 million individual fucking eyeballs, trend on Twitter, blow the fuck up, and then you got PUBG. I tweeted this out earlier today.
How salty are they? How fucking
I tweeted this out. I was like, look, PUBG was already on life support in terms of trying to keep up with
Drake's trying to kill it.
The rise of Fortnite, which they already have to understand they're going up against a free to play game, which is a big enough hill to fucking try and climb to begin with. I had this tweet here. I said, I have to imagine that after last night's epic shenanigans with Drake, Ninja, and 47 other celebrities, PUBG is about to see a massive dip in player count. And I want to watch Steam, like the Steam stats thing in the next couple of weeks and see what happens. Almost 800,000 positive Fortnite tweets. Meanwhile, at PUBG or at PU Battlegrounds, the fucking Jesus, I hate their handle. Yeah. Still asking for forgiveness every 3 hours on the hour on their Twitter for like fucked up shit. Like, oh, we're sorry for the inconvenience, but somebody stuck a fucking fork in the wall and now the entire server room is on fire. Oh, sorry,
the hamsters are still going
Drake
through.
Drake just meek milled fucking PUBG.
Oh, bodied
yesterday, just straight up
body bag.
It's done. It's done, bro.
It's PUBG just keeps coming out. It's all you hear from them is apologies because they can't do anything right. But yet, for the longest time, they had so much fucking money and so much time. Fortnite just casually fucking waltzes in. Same fucking engine as PUBG. Yep. Same situation. Now they've got more people playing than PUBG. And not only do they have that, but they have this game on PC, on Xbox, on PlayStation 4, on mobile.
The iOS version plays amazingly well.
And it runs well, and it's all fucking cross-play.
Yep.
Come the fuck on. And all this shit on what I'm telling you right now, and maybe only recently, and maybe not even yet, made as much money as PUBG has. Because it's a free-to-play game and they're relying on those microtransactions where PUBG made out flat out in 9 months. $1 billion goddamn US dollars.
Woo. Woo.
And you still have, again, I keep coming back to this.
Ninja's about to break that himself
Exactly.
this year,
He's going to bring that in himself.
Woo!
And you still
go get it,
you
Ninja.
still
You go get your
got
money, bro.
Player Unknown coming out. Oh, guys, servers cost so
God's
much
plan.
money. It's just so expensive and it's hard and there's so many people. Like it's just you're done. You're done. And I hate to say it because I do like personally PUBG more than Fortnite. And I wish I liked Fortnite more. Not that it does anything for my stream. I just wish that I liked a game that other people like so fucking much, because sometimes you feel like you're missing out on it. It's just kind of one of those things in gaming. But, PUBG, you're fucked. Congratulations. Yep. You played yourself. You refuse to find you refuse
Second
to
time.
find people. You refuse to find people and pay them money in currency in exchange for goods and services. I know it's a difficult concept for you to fucking understand.
I know we razzed on Epic earlier for this, but you know what? They figured it out, and they're like, you know what? We'll close down Paragon.
Yes.
Let's just work on Fortnite.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I know. That's what
was like a bad meal, and
we
shit it out, and it's
we
like
razzed on them for it. But guess what? Apparently, you know what? They made the right business call. They're like, yeah,
just fucking pay some people, you fucking idiots. I'm telling you, you've got what do you have, like 6 people working on PUBG? Like, I don't understand what the fuck is happening over there.
Wait till a Fortnite League comes out, bro. Wait till there is like a fucking professional scene on this shit, dude.
Epic was just like, Epic's like, yo guys, we're shutting down some of our other games. We're just gonna put them all on Fortnite. And PUBG's like, hey guys, we're just gonna split all of our PUBG people into a separate company and then not do anything for a year.
Remember that time when TwitchCon was all about the PUBG?
It was H1Z1 this year.
Fortnite is going to just fucking take over.
I think it's going to be Fortnite this year.
Oh,
it was H1. They had the H1Z1 last year. This year is going to be freaking Fortnite,
bro. This is going to be a Fortnite season. They're probably going to have Drake fucking at TwitchCon. Probably performing and playing with Ninja.
I can see that fucking happening.
I can fucking already smell it, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're gonna pay Drake fucking fat cake.
No.
You know what? Thank you so much for fucking.
All right, here we go.
Blowing the limit.
It's Drake. It's Team Drake versus Team Logic because they were low key burning each other on Twitter.
Let's go, dude. I'm fucking.
That's
dude,
it.
I'm there.
They're gonna be fighting over who gets Ninja.
They're
gonna fight over who gets Ninja.
I gotta travel. If it's over in Cali, I am there, guaranteed.
It's in San Jose,
Twitch,
bro.
If you're not already budgeting for this, you ought to need to pay Drake to be at TwitchCon, perform for the partners, and get Drake versus Logic up in this bitch, dude. It would be so fucking nuts. It would just be so nuts, dude. It would just, it would be huge. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be huge.
Huge.
Be great.
Huge.
Oh my god.
It's just
Twitch,
silly.
Just crushing it, dude.
It actually just angers me to watch PUBG piss away all of their shit. It's just a frustrating thing to watch. It's just because there's no reason for it.
I'm just surprised they still have stuff they can piss out.
Like when they're probably like firing blanks at this point, and then it wouldn't surprise me. But like just. I don't know. It's such a clusterfuck. I also giggle every time they have
any more piss left.
I just laugh every time they have an update and I have to re-download the entire map pool. So every update, it's like, we made this little tweak, but you have to re-download the entire map. So it's like a 7 gig fucking download, and you're like, are you kidding me right now? Like, what did you do? Recreate the entire fucking game? Why am I spending so much? Like, like here we don't have caps, right? But in other places where they have caps, 7 gigs worth of fucking shit, or 2 gigs, or 3 gigs, and it's happening like 2 or 3 times a month, that shit is fucking crazy. You can't expect people to be doing that shit.
This guy's about to be pulling 200,000 subscribers. I remember like $4
a head, bro. $4 a head.
I remember like 4 or 5 months ago when Summit hit like 20K subs.
And yeah,
And
you're
we
like,
were
oh
like,
my god.
holy fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
Summit's been on the grind for a long time. The guy is super successful.
I still
He
find
ain't
it funny.
going anywhere.
Summit and Dr. Disrespect were like
And
going
then
over who's
Ninja
number
comes
one.
out.
Yeah.
And Ninja's just like,
I-
nah.
I can just Ninja has got to be banking more than every Twitch star combined.
I would
The-
imagine.
Can you imagine just the merch sales?
Who signs them? Who's got the bank to do it? Coke Esports?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Because you know it ain't gonna be fucking Razor.
Hell, fuck no. Dude, Razor's so cheap,
It's
the
not gonna
fucking
be-
things
it's not
would
gonna
break
be-
off his skull.
it's not
like
gonna
they
be-
couldn't even handle the headphones would go on Ninja's skull and they'd fucking crumble.
It's not gonna
Like,
be
this
gamer
just too cheap.
supplements. I can tell you that
You know,
much.
I know. I'm pretty sure Bud Light's paying him because he's got a Bud Light fridge and
Oh, yeah, Bud Light
and
All Star.
and he
Ninja.
and he plugs Bud Light so very well all the
Mhm.
time. So you know I know that shit. But I mean, geez, like I'm thinking about buying me a Ninja shirt. It might take my viewers up about 30-40% if I just wear
Just to
the
wear
shirt.
it. It's
If I
possible.
just wear the shirt.
It's possible.
It's crazy, dude. So like the guy is crushing it. You know, it's when I can't imagine getting wired about $1 million a month from Twitch. You know, my wire comes in. You know, I'm like, oh, okay.
And
you know,
look, we know the sponsors pay 3 to 4 times more than we get in subscriber money every month. So you know whatever he's pulling down in sub count, while right now the sponsors might not hit that. In the
They
next
can't afford
couple
it
of
right
months, it'll happen. Somebody's gonna pay him obscene amounts of money every month. This motherfucker gonna be pulling down Tiger Woods Nike sponsorships and shit.
dude. You remember that there was a period of time where PewDiePie was getting out of like the whatever he was doing. He was he was fucking, I don't know. He doesn't even like do video. He rarely does video game shit anymore.
He's not screaming at shitty
he's not
horror
like-
games anymore.
Yeah, he's growing up. He's maturing as a content provider.
Yeah.
And so there were times, and we saw this. We played the Goat Simulator, right? Where there were games created for PewDiePie, and PewDiePie was making companies so much money
Yep.
from playing a game.
Yep. That they were making
I can
games
see it now.
specifically for him. Yeah.
Within 6 months, when Ninja is getting a little burnt out on Fortnite, because it'll happen. And
We got
and
the
he's
next
got-
battle royale game. Ninja.
The next battle royale game's gonna come out, and they're gonna pay him so much money.
Ninja's
so much
Battleground.
money.
And he is going to play it, and it's gonna fucking make so much money. He will literally make or break games. That's the type of power
He's
that
gonna
the
have.
guy has got right. I don't even know if he knows his own power right now.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he
cares.
I don't think he gets. I don't think he cares.
That's-
That's
that's
what's
important.
so awesome.
Yeah.
That's what's awesome about Ninja is he doesn't fucking care. He doesn't even realize it yet. He's like a superhero that is just like, you know, saving lives, but he doesn't even realize the impact he's
just
having
enjoying
right
it.
now. But it's one of
him
these
enjoy
days
it.
he's gonna wake up and he's gonna go, I have a responsibility, right? And I gotta get on this. He's gotta wake up one of these days, bro. The guy has got so much power right now. When you got Drizzy on your team, and he's
Oh, my
calling up
God.
random NFL stars and other rappers, people are fighting to get on there, and you're literally streaming in more than how many people live in my city. You made it. Congratulations. It was God's plan.
Just nuts, bro.
And you make so many subs that you can't shout them all out.
Oh, dude, he can't shout out
No,
shit,
no.
bro.
Yeah, there's too many. Too many.
Somebody donate. I was watching yesterday. Somebody donated him $5,000, and I'm
Yep.
thinking to myself, how in the fuck? I mean, okay. So normally I see somebody and go,
Bro,
okay.
bro, if you're
this is-
donating $5,000, you're pissing in the wind in regards to like what the fucking.
you know what
this guy's making.
$5,000 is to that guy?
Nothing.
Literally like a shit stain.
Nothing.
Right? You look at it, you go, I'll get another.
It's like
new
a 5
underwear.
sheet.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, whatever. It's literally like a 5 sheet. It's like somebody donating me $5 is like donating him $5,000. And I
Yeah.
go to myself, did this guy just really donate 5,000? And then I go, wait a second. This is some of the single greatest gameplay I've ever seen in my entire life. And the spectacle of all this motherfucker deserves every goddamn cent he gets. And if people are enjoying this shit, give him the fucking world because he earns it. All of it. There's not enough money that this guy, go and crush it, bro. Go and crush it. I'm all for Ninja. I'm on Ninja's dick right now.
We're a team Ninja.
I swear to
man.
God, I'm about to be dueling up with him or something. I'm so excited.
You wish.
Who are you
yes,
again?
I do. He would change my family tree. With one screen.
It'll dramatically change history in one foul swoop. Well, we could talk about that forever, but let's just power quickly through these last kind of topics here. None of them is like particularly huge. Some of them could have been, but we talked up Ninja, and rightfully so.
Hell yeah.
All right, real quick, just because I like to get angry every time I hear the word Skyrim. Skyrim VR coming to PC and Oculus Rift. Doesn't that make everyone excited?
No.
I just want to know when it's going to be on my toaster, Adam. I don't care about VR or other bullshit.
That's coming. That's going to be at
my toaster.
It's going to be at GDC. It'll happen. Toaster Skyrim coming to you soon. Yeah, it just sickens me every time I see Skyrim come out on a new platform now. I just want it, Dan, just let it be over. I want it to be dead. Bury it out in a fucking landfill like we did with all that ET cartridges and call it a fucking day.
I saw it on the Switch, and it was a full AAA title price.
Yep, because people are going to pay for it. That's the problem. Is people keep buying it. That's ultimately it, right? So you can hate on Todd Howard and the crew for continuing to spew that shit out, but the problem is, of course, people keep buying it. So why wouldn't they?
Tons of cash.
So why wouldn't they?
Yep, so Final Fantasy 15.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Also, shout out to Final Fantasy 15. Fuck that game.
Apparently, their PC port is really good, though.
That's
even if it's a bad game,
that's fine.
Like, I'll give them like props for actually making a good PC port.
That's fine. This game is still on a scale of 1 to mediocre at best. And that's after they patched the ever-living fuck out of it and completely rewrote an entire chapter of the video game. And then when I still get a giggle that when I originally played the game, when it just launched, and I saw how the game played out, the story played out, and I said, mark my fucking words, you're going to get an individual DLC for the 3 boys that will do the backstory that they just came back, and when the protagonist asked, when Noctis asked, hey, where were you? And all of the responses were variations of, don't worry about it, bro. I knew that there was going to be DLC for those who worried about it, bro, and here we are, and we're getting it. And it's
so
fucked
you didn't
up
worry about it?
And stupid, and I fucking hate it, and fuck Square Enix right in the pussy. Geralt of the Witcher, going to be playable in Soul Calibur 6. Devil May Cry armor coming to Monster Hunter World, and I just toss this in here because I just like kind of cool video game crossover content, and there's been a lot of good shit. Monster Hunter World is like smashing it right now with the crossover content that they've been having. But I saw a trailer for it. It looked a little weird, but at the same time, I was like, fuck it. Monster Hunter is weird in general. They do all sorts of weird shit. And Geralt being in a fighting game, that's just crazy. That's just fucking crazy.
You actually see the launch trailer for it? It's actually pretty good.
I did. No, it looks dope. I mean, I got nothing against it. I think it's pretty cool. Microsoft's E3, they're pulling a Nintendo, boys. They're going across the street from the convention center to the Microsoft Convention Center to hold their thing, so that they, under the pretense of, they said they're going to be able to do a lot more being at their own floor, and so they're aiming to make this the biggest, like, quote-unquote E3, despite the fact that they're not technically being at E3, event that they've ever done. And now, obviously, they say that every year, but I feel like with all the shit Microsoft's been doing and all the announcements we've heard from them, this might actually be the biggest event that they've done, because I think they need it. So
part of it will also be, I think they don't want to pay E3 for ridiculous floor space, so they're just like, oh, we'll just set up over here.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's not going to hurt them all. People are going to watch it all online anyway now. It's all live streamed and shit, so why does it fucking matter? Just do your thing. Valve. So Valve randomly comes out. No lead up to this, no anything. Just comes out and says, hey, old Gaby comes out of his lair and he dusts the Cheeto dust off of his shirt, and wipes his ass with $45 million bills and says, all right, guys, look, I got a surprise for you. We're thinking about shipping some more games again. Just out of nowhere.
Not just Artifact. Like, they have Artifact as a card game. They have like a fully fledged single player game that they're working on, they said. And then they've got like 3 big VR titles they're working on, and a couple other smaller things they're working on.
What does that even mean? We're thinking about it. Like,
No.
doing
They're working on it. They said we have a fully fledged game that we're working.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant, hey, we're thinking about.
Oh, I
releasing
didn't
games,
say
guys.
thinking. I said working.
No, that's
Sorry.
what Adam said.
That's
I don't know if that's what he said in his tweet, but I was like, what does that even mean? Are you,
they're
are you coming out with games or not?
Well, I said that because I don't know what the caliber, the level of these games are going to be. Like, we got a card game coming. Does that mean we're going to get like Farmville Light or some shit? Like, what does that even mean? Like, what are we going to get from Valve now? You know, it ain't going to be Half-Life.
No.
So, and then I guess the question is, at that point, does anyone care if it's not Half-Life? Like, if it does, is it a spit in people's face at this point if Valve comes back after all these fucking years? And the card game was bad enough. I remember the launch thing for that and hearing the moans in the fucking crowd, like everyone going,
Can you imagine if it's
what
a
the fuck?
Half-Life card game?
"Oh my god, Gabe would be assassinated. His ass would
Okay,
be
so
grabbed."
here's the question.
They did a full press release on Artifact, by the way, and apparently the media loved it. And the big thing is they actually confirmed a lot of the stuff that we were kind of speculating forever ago when we talked about it, when they announced it. But it's got, like, Gabe pretty much came out and said, one, this isn't going to be a free to play game.
Right.
Because it feels devalues it. There's going to be a starter set you buy, which has got, standard starter set fixed cards, and you can buy card backs and everything. And then he's just like, here's the big thing. The rarity doesn't matter towards the power of the cards. Common cards can be powerful, vice versa. But full marketplace.
Right.
You can buy and sell cards with whoever you want. Steam Marketplace.
So there we go. We called it because they had the Valve Marketplace in place so they could utilize that and shit.
And he said that's important because that lets the economy develop on its own without us artificially setting it up.
I like that. I think Valve would do well with it.
And then he's just like, and the money will go between the players and stuff, and whatever we get from whatever.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm not saying that they're going to make shit games because I don't think Valve is capable of making particularly shit games even after a hiatus like they've had. But what I mean is that, I don't know. I guess that's just the question for me is, do people care? We're going to find out with the card game, but, do people care because their entire business started on the back of this Half-Life shit and their games, and they started and did not have that finish, and for people to be begging for it forever and to then slip out this card game and to then say we're coming back and making even more games and then not have one of those be fucking Half-Life.
Okay, so here's the question.
Right.
What happens if Half-Life 3 does get announced?
Okay.
And they do want to come out with it. Does it sell as good as people hype it up to be? Does it really actually become a mega hit?
The hype.
Or is it going to just sell mediocre? Like, is it just going to be like, hey, you know what? The people that played Half-Life 2 are going to, check it out. Because obviously the game's old. And a lot of people that are using Steam are younger that are now in gaming. I mean, the generation, it's
absolutely.
This isn't Star Wars we're talking about here, right? This is like if reboot RoboCop, right? RoboCop comes out, it's like, okay, it was big, it was cool.
Yeah.
RoboCop comes out down the road, it's like, it didn't suck, but didn't sell like we thought it would have. Does Half-Life 3 actually fucking become a smash hit, or is it one of these cult things where it just sells well, but it's meh?
I feel like okay, so well, first of all, I feel like they're going to do it. It's just a matter of time. I feel like it's one of those things where it's just going to happen. We just don't know the timeline for it yet.
Valve has historically only done Half-Life games when there's something major technologically,
like a new engine,
that they want to show off, like that. We put that's always what Half-Life is.
Which is what I've always said is the day we see Half-Life 3 is the day that Valve has created a new engine, and we're gonna see it as a showcase for that, right? Does it live up to the hype? It's impossible. You literally can't. It would be the most hype game in the history of video games on the PC. Flat out. Like, there's no other game that would even approach the levels of hype that a Half-Life 3 would generate within the industry. It's not even close. True. Despite the fact that, yes, it's an old game and shit, it's been part of it. It's a gaming culture meme since before people even said the word meme. The shit's been around. Like, this has been decades and shit. Like it's crazy. So there's no way it could possibly ever live up to the hype. It's just and they would know that. But you know, the follow up to the question is, does it sell well? I honest to God don't know, because it could go either way. When you have a game that's so hyped up, there are going to be there's always a chance that people wait and see what people are saying about it before they buy it when it's that hyped. And then of course there's an almost equal chance that people just fucking run out and buy that shit right away, because it's just been everyone, because you know that despite the fact that you're not wrong, that there's a lot of younger people that either A, have never heard of Half-Life outside of the meme, and are playing games now like hardcore, and they're spending a lot of money on games, but they've never heard of it, they've never played Half-Life in the past, whatever. The industry will make it a point to the, you know, that people are going to talk about it enough that those people are going to hear about it, and they'll likely end up strongly considering picking it up just based on that.
But is
alone.
it good enough? Like in a free to play world that we're in now, it's tough for people to buy $60 games. Like
Sure.
not because they're broke, which some people are.
There's just a lot of games that they want to buy.
There's listen, you've got games like Fortnite, PUBG, League of Legends.
Yeah.
So many options.
You've got so many great free to play games.
Well, you got to understand that you're
free-to-play.
largely selling to people that want single player experiences, right? You're not
That's
selling.
right.
You're not necessarily selling to, like, there is a crossover market for people that play Fortnite and people that would play something like a Half-Life 3
They just want a
or
campaign or something to
Skyrim
sit down and play
or
without
whatever,
anything.
and they just like that exists, but I feel like the free to play market and then the competitive free to play market is almost its own island at this point. It's so fucking big. It's like it's going to have its own citizenship fucking process pretty soon, and it's going to start to have like its own government. Like that's how big free to play competitive games have gotten. And they're gonna make more money on average when they're really big, when they're whales, than like a really well selling for single player experience. I think you just have to set a benchmark differently. It was kind of like when Square Enix came out with the reboot to Tomb Raider several years ago, and it sold like 7 or 8 million copies. And Square Enix came out and said, you know, it didn't perform as well as we had hoped, and when we were not sure if we're going to do another one, and the entire world went, "Are you fucking high?" Because they were comparing it to these other titles like that are pushing 20, 30 million copies, but you can't put Tomb Raider in that category. So despite the fact that Half-Life 3 would be astronomical in the levels of hype and industry discussion and just people looking to see whether or not it can live up to that hype, I feel like it still falls into the you know, what's its max? How good can it possibly get? You know, does it hit Grand Theft Auto 5 levels of sales? Does it hit 20 million, 30 million? Probably not, because Grand Theft Auto 5
million maybe.
had a really long life because of its online functionality. And do you water down, or not even water down, but do you add online functionality to Half-Life in an attempt to make it, you know, that, or do you stick to the fact that it's a story-driven first-person shooter? And if that's the case, then you're looking at, you know, maybe you do the 10 to 15 million, and that's for a fucking successful video game, right? You know, that's a lot of money being made. Is it Fortnite? Fuck no, but you can't expect to do that shit. You know, maybe you know, Drake does a stream views from the 6 playing fucking Half-Life 3. We don't know, and maybe it blows it up and it makes bajillions of sales, but I don't think it's possible to know.
Incredible and word of mouth, and it's like, damn, you need to play this fucking game. Boom. And
It's possible.
That happened with Half-Life 2. Like in college, it came out when I was in college, my freshman year. And people who weren't like heavy gamers or like hardcore core gamers or whatever, they were all playing. Like my entire freshman dorm was playing Half-Life 2. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I didn't play it until like my second year of streaming. Right, when people told me about it, I had never played the Half-Life stuff, and I've only ever played, I think, Half-Life 2, and like I think there was like an expansion.
Well, we
or
weren't really
something that I
big
played.
PC gamers outside of
No, we
StarCraft
weren't.
anyway,
Yeah.
so that was part of it. Part of the process too was, you know, you and I started we started PC gaming late.
Yeah.
So we kind of came to the party late, and I did the same thing. Like people recommended it to me, and I went and bought it, and I played through, you know, episodes, you know, 1, 2, and whatever, and I even played some of the original Half-Life. I didn't finish it all, but I think I did play a little Blue Shift and a couple of the other whatever Half-Lives, and yeah, and they were really good games. they don't stand up as well as a lot of other
No.
games do,
Right.
because
But they're fun. They're
but
good
they were
story-driven
good.
stuff.
The stories were good. The characters were great. The animations on the characters is what I still think is the most impressive part about Half-Life, because they still stand up a lot to today's animations of characters, in many aspects. And just when you take into consideration the age of it and see the physics that were at play within Half-Life, it's really, really kind of cool. And you can see where the Portal stuff obviously spun out of and whatnot from that. So, but again, that's kind of part of it, was the story's really good, but ultimately Half-Life is a vehicle for showing off Valve's engines. That's what Valve was using them for, right?
Yeah, it was like Crisis, right?
Yeah, you
Same sort of
see...
deal.
You see the E3 conferences where they were talking about Half-Life 2 originally, and it's basically just here's a demo reel of some boxes falling into some other boxes, and look how cool it looks. And, we can pick this object up and we can move it over here, and it acts, realistically and shit. And so, yeah, that's likely when we're going to see it. I think it will happen. It's just a matter of time. But my big question is right now is, do people give a fuck about Valve making games if it isn't Half-Life at this point? And I don't know the answer to that question. Because I'm not questioning whether or not it's going to be a quality video game, because I think they're going to be quality video games. It's just, will people give a fuck?
I don't think people do, the vast majority, but I think they will. I think they will when we see what's going down. I think people will go, whoa, okay, okay, Valve is making a movie, big deal. It's like some good movie director that has made good, really solid movies, known for one specific type of movie, and then we'll say George Lucas makes Star Wars movies and they're incredible, and you're hoping that he'd make another Star Wars movie, but he announces that, I'm no longer part of Lucasfilm and I'm starting my own independent thing on the side now that is sold out Disney, and I'm going to come out with a new story, a new everything. And most people will go, you know what? I don't give a fuck about this new shit. I just want more Star Wars. That's it. That's all you're good for, Lucas.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then a trailer comes out, news comes out, and we go, wait a second, this is George Lucas, and this looks pretty good. And maybe, just maybe, we might have another Star Wars on our hands. You got to kind of respect the pioneers. You can't, you can't just disregard it. And even if you want to, out of just anger that you're not getting what you want, talent just kind of finds its way in the forefront, whether you want to believe it or not. And I think nobody gives a fuck about what Valve's tweeting unless it's Half-Life 3. But I think if they start showing off a card game and it looks great and they've got a cool marketplace, and it does something different and it scratches a competitive edge on something like Hearthstone and things like that, and the timing's right, there could be some excitement.
I'm pulling for him with this card game because Hearthstone needs some competition. Something fierce. So I'm pulling for him with this card game for sure. I hope it turns out well. I think on paper right now it's looking really fucking good, and now it's just kind of a wait and see how it kind of all unfolds. Mr. Black,
yeah,
hit me up with a little jingle for TV and movies.
Movies.
What about TV though?
TV.
There we go. So to tie into that Tomb Raider shit, that new Tomb Raider movie actually just dropped not long ago, and we're starting to see the first reviews come in. And for a video game movie, it's not getting completely dumpstered.
No,
it's not killing it, but it's not getting crushed.
Coming in at 50%, bro.
Yeah, for the critics, but what I'm hearing, and there are critics that I listen to that kind of know what the fuck they're not these stuck up, cunts.
Yeah, of course.
And they still do have a little bit of stink up their ass, but what I'm hearing is it's one of the better video game movie adaptations that we've ever seen, and it's way better than the original.
Yes, it is better than the original.
Lara Croft movies, Tomb Raiders, and they stay pretty faithful to the new version of Lara Croft. So
which is important,
the video
She's
games.
actually weaker than the newer version, though, in like a couple of senses. I actually saw the movie 2 days ago.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I was going to go tonight, but podcast. And
yeah, we can talk about it next week. But
I won't be here. but the
Oh,
week after.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Because
fine.
I'm going to be on vacation, so I'm missing.
Right,
next
right,
week. But did you like it?
Again, it wasn't like the worst movie I've seen. I I don't know if I would have gone and watched it again if I had to pay for it myself, but it was okay. Like I'm not gonna knock it as a terrible movie. I just felt it was kind of let down by the script more than anything.
Mm.
I heard that too. I heard the script was kind of lackluster.
Like the
but
actors
I hear
weren't
the,
bad. It just
I hear
wasn't
the leading lady was great as Tomb Raider. She didn't have
Kinda.
a whole lot to say in the movie. Apparently, she doesn't have like that many lines, but she does a great job at conveying emotion and
Everyone says that they really liked her in the role, but like personally, I really didn't. I can't put my finger on it. I just feel like when they created the
it's
new
the
video
tits,
game,
isn't it?
nah, not
Tits.
even. Not. I actually mentally, I was just like, I feel like she didn't even
Uh.
like she didn't actually capture the personality of the character as well as she could have, and like the new Lara Croft as the benchmark, probably why I'm thinking that, because the video game one is awesome, but I don't know if they quite captured it with Alicia Vikander, but again, wasn't a terrible movie,
That
but I
was-
don't know if I would have gone on my own.
That was my takeaway from like watching all the previews and stuff leading up to it was that it's not that she was doing a particularly bad job. I just for whatever reason had a hard time placing her as Lara Croft.
She seemed I'm completely paraphrasing another streamer / friend of mine.
Okay.
She seemed way too delicate and too girl next door for Lara Croft.
I think
for
that's
doing all the
probably
badass stuff.
how I feel. Like I don't
Well,
think I
wasn't
would
it
have been able
supposed
to.
to be that way? Isn't it supposed to be that way for
You would expect like
for the like the origin sort of this Lara Croft?
It's
where-
not supposed to be girl next door. It's not supposed to get to that level. Like what it's
Well,
yeah,
supposed
she's just
to
not
be,
framed correctly.
Yeah, what it's supposed to be like is that basically the reconstruction of Lara Croft from how I saw it when I played the new game or the new games when they came around was that when they're rebuilding her from the start was that she was already a particularly strong individual, but the difference was her exposure to everything that she was seeing. So, for example, killing people was a big thing, or going through these traumatic.
She wasn't like an
events.
abject badass.
But
off
she,
the bat.
she wasn't like that off the rip. But she wasn't girl next door. That's probably the best description of what I felt like watching the previews. Was that's the vibe that she gives off.
Too
was
Well,
a
I
little-
think 'cause she looks so young and she's
Yeah.
super petite and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
and she doesn't have tits. So it's like it's all these things that kind of makes it feel too realistic to girl next door. I'm not saying that the girl next door doesn't have big tits or anything like that,
Yeah,
but
new
I
one
think
doesn't, yeah.
I think the whole look of her. When I first saw the previews, I wasn't sold on it. I was like, man, this movie looks like ass. I was like, I'm a survivor.
That-
I'm not
oh
gonna
my
give
God,
up.
okay, I
I'm
just
not
wanna-
gonna give
I want
up."
to
was
fire
like,
who
what
the fuck
is this?
chose that song
Yeah.
for that movie. I felt like I was
Yeah.
watching, like when I saw it, I said to Gabs, I said, I feel like I went back to 1998
You did.
because
You went
and
right
even
there.
even if the song wasn't also from like 2001, you know what I mean? It was like the song choice was so blatantly cheesy and bad and obvious that it was like,
why
all
are
right,
you slow mo here? You don't need to be slow mo.
You don't need it. You just cheapen the fuck out of this movie with
I
that
gotta say,
choice.
I wasn't looking forward to it all. But you know what? I've been to I've been to 2 movies in the last week, and it's just been a lot of crap out, or there's things I'm not interested in, and the fact that there is a video game movie that looks to be a fun adventure, and it's 2 hours away from life with popcorn in my face. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I was a little bummed out that I'm not going to have time to go and see it tonight, so I'll have to see it next Friday when I get home. But it's not like something I'd be super pumped to go see. But I'm happy that it's here. I'm happy that it's apparently doesn't suck balls. I haven't heard anybody say that the movie's awful.
Yeah, I haven't heard that at all.
Yeah, I've just been hearing that, hey, either some people are going, wow, this was pleasantly entertaining. I've pretty much every critic that I've heard said it's not a great movie, but it's a fun adventure. It's like a little bit of Indiana Jones meets a little bit of old Tomb Raider meets a little bit of Die Hard. It's like a little bit of 90s and fun, and
and just dumb, bad script.
It's
it's
okay that a movie does not always a movie doesn't always need to be like some sort of fucking Oscar bait shit. Like it can if as long as it's entertaining.
And I like that.
You know,
I'm
then yeah,
that type of guy.
Yeah, so
I like to escape. So
yeah,
I'm
for
looking
sure.
forward to it.
Yeah. I might go with you if you need somebody to hold your hand. I might go with you. We go watch
All
it
right,
together.
It's a date.
Oh hey. Nicolas Cage is finally getting to live his dream, boys. Many people may not know this, but Tim Burton was going to do a Superman movie in the 90s. I think it was 93. And Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman back in the day. You can find pictures of this, of Cage in all of his glory with the suit and everything going on. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, it just didn't come to be. And
there's a documentary on that. I watched it.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage, also, people might not know this, monstrous Superman fan. Like fucking enormous. Like big enough that he had a comic that he sold for, like an original print comic that he sold for like $2 million a few years back. Like this dude is hard core. Well, he probably also had to do that for his like horrible gambling addictions, but just a hardcore Superman fan, and he's always wanted to be part of like a Superman project. Unfortunately for him, the one that came knocking for him was Teen Titans Go. He is going to be a voice actor for Superman in a shitty Teen Titans Go movie coming up.
Hey, it's no Tim Burton production, but hey, he'll take it.
He's still living the dream, bro. It's fucking Nicolas Cage. You know he doesn't give a fuck. He's like Ninja. He does not give a single fuck.
Yeah, but he's got no talent, so
that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, I don't know if he's talentless. I think he just has no talent for picking roles, but I don't know if that's a talent or just he just wants money.
I just think he's a '90s action star.
He's a mediocre actor. That's
really
all.
Doesn't have any charismatic. He's not charismatic. He's just
he's good at being a drunk revenge flick. That's basically what he is now.
He's not as cool as Arnold. He's not as cool as Sly. He's not as cool as any of those guys.
But what if he got the Superman role with the Tim Burton deal?
No, it probably would have been an absolute failure, and that's why it didn't happen. So never.
I think he has some shining moments, but I think what hurt him a lot was just taking the endless slew of shit that he has for whatever financial reasons he's been taking them for so long that, the scant few movies that people would actually say he did well in, they just forget and they're like, yeah, but remember he did this movie, and you're like, oh yeah, shit.
His most recent biggest movie that he did was the one with Hayden Christensen. It was called
God.
Fuck, what was that called, man? Oh man.
Was it called Actors in Quotation Marks?
Oh, it was bad, bro. It was so
Nicolas Cage and Hayden Christensen. Like, are you serious, bro?
I'm dead serious, man. I'm dead serious. Dude.
All right, here's a tough one for you. If you are casting for a movie and you have a choice, your only choice is you have to pick one. Is Nick Cage or Hayden Christensen? Who are you going with?
Oh, Nick Cage.
I'm going Nick Cage, bro. Yeah,
every time. Hayden Christensen is so dull, and he's fucking my dream girl. So fuck him 2 ways from Sunday.
Yeah,
can't stand him.
Yeah.
So, anyway, next. What else we got?
Next up, John Cena challenged The Undertaker for a dream match at WrestleMania. The reason why I have this here, I'm saying yes. You want to know how I'm saying yes? Because Taker got retired by fucking Roman Reigns, and that still hurts my soul on a daily basis. I just cry internally for Undertaker's flawless fucking career. You like, there is nobody else that has worked better for the WWE and just than the Taker. You just can't. And then to fucking piss that away by doing the 1-2 combo of losing the streak to fucking Brock Lesnar after he comes back crawling on his knees. Please take me, WWE. I fucked up over in the world of UFC. And then to lose that streak to him. And then to retire to the categorically shittiest frontline wrestler Vince McMahon has ever tried to put over in his career is so painful. So to at least be able to come back for one more fucking ride and go out to somebody with a monicum of fucking talent at WrestleMania and maybe even win, but that's not going to happen. But maybe he wins. The fact is, the last match that Taker has in that ring that's high profile isn't Roman fucking Reigns, and that's the most important part of the entire story. This shit hurts me. Hurts me so much.
Doesn't hurt me as much as Ronda Rousey's acting in the WWE. Now that hurts.
That
me.
was painful.
It first of all, it goes to show, even though the acting across the board in wrestling isn't exactly fucking incredible, but there's a certain knack to it, and people have.
You want D or C list at least.
Yeah, like you
Not
have.
like E.
You have, you have, and people expect it to be a bit cheesy, right? So you have to be able to play into that cheesiness. I'm not gonna hate on Ronda going in dry and just fucking having to, and be put in the position that she was in, right, which is relatively high profile, and then to just be given that much mic time. That's a bad time. That's a bad idea. You just probably should not have done that shit. She didn't do great.
She's supposed to be an actress, right? If you
What
can't
the
go
fuck?
in there,
What's her
and
actress
fucking-
like? What did she do? She fought. What's her name in a Fast and the Furious movie? The fuck kind of acting has she done? She act like
Well,
some Russian bodyguard.
She's been in a few movies.
Okay.
And they've been all garbage. And
Shocker.
she can't act a lick.
Okay.
She can't talk for shit.
Okay.
And it's you know what, I'm rooting for her, but
I think
every
she's in the
time she
right
grabs a
place.
mic, it's just horrendous, dude. It's like watching CM Punk try and fight in the UFC. It's like, dude, we know your heart's in it. We know you love it. We know you're working hard.
But no.
You just don't belong here.
No.
You just don't belong here.
It's not
Dude,
your
you know
world,
why,
bro.
You know why you're here? Because you're really famous.
Yep.
You're really, really famous, and
Yep.
you love this.
Yep.
And it's like Michael Jordan going to play baseball. You don't belong here, dude.
But you're
good.
famous.
You're famous as fuck. But that's it. You're not meant here. You look out of place. And Ronda Rousey, right now, and the whole rowdy.
I cannot
Piper,
believe that they are fucking messing with that man's legacy by pushing Roddy Piper's shit onto Rousey.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he did give her and give her the nickname, but at the same time, this is your brand. Like it's even his logo, everything. It's just there's nothing original about her, man. It's what is she gonna do? Is she gonna judo sweep somebody and put them in a leg lock or fucking choke them out or something? Like
they're gonna have the snake pit where she interviews wrestlers and then low key fights them afterwards, and then fucking absolutely crazy.
We'll see what happens come WrestleMania, but I have a feeling it's gonna be pretty cringe.
It's gonna be WrestleMania.
Yeah, Russell the Jimmies. That's all I've got listed here. Unless there's some other movie or TV related thing going on. Somebody somebody mentioned in chat, and I just wanted to say, just to reiterate, what's her name? What's her name from Tomb Raider? Vikander.
Alicia Vikander.
Yeah. So shout out to Ex Machina being a dope movie. She was in that.
Yeah, but she acted like a robot with no emotion, so there's not much range there.
Yeah, so, true. They could have put Hayden Christensen in there with a dress, and it probably would have been about the same thing, but...
I went and saw Annihilation.
How did that go?
It was different. It was different. Natalie Portman never gets me into the movie theater, but I was so desperate to go to the theater that I said, you know what, I'm going to go watch a primarily all-female cast, yippee-ki-yay, and we're going to go into whatever this thing is, and I'm going to see. And I left going, that wasn't too bad. It was a thinker. And the end was very weird, but I got it. And I thought it was a good sci-fi. It's definitely a really solid Netflix sci-fi that could have been more of like a Netflix series or just a 2 or 3 episode thing, opposed to like a 2.5 hour movie. But it was a good time. And then I went and saw Strangers,
right?
Which
wasn't that also Nicolas Cage?
No.
Want to
not
know
Strangers.
which? Want to know
Strangers-
which movie surprise? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I know.
No,
I thought that Strangers. I thought that that was the movie that Nick Cage did, where it was like he and his wife have somebody come over like as a babysitter or some shit, and it turns into like a horror movie, like a bad horror movie.
Oh, it might be
Because that's a
but this
recent
wasn't it.
recent thing, I think.
Nah, this Strangers one is where they go to this trailer park and like nobody's there, and then there's these killers with masks that come out and they start like hunting them down and shit. But that was
Great.
like it was super.
That sounds
mediocre.
lovely.
Yeah,
Want to
it
know
was-
what movie surprised me?
What's that?
And that it was good? Freaking Game Night.
Oh, that was funny, man. I saw that with
Yeah,
Kayla.
I thought that was going to be like a really bad movie, but I wanted to test out my movie pass, so I just went and watched it. And I came out of the theater being like,
yeah.
you know what? That was actually pretty friggin' funny.
I laughed out loud a couple times, but
Meth
what-
Damon sold that movie.
Oh, Matt
Meth.
Damon.
No, Meth
know-
Damon
Meth Damon. Yeah.
sold that movie.
Yeah, dude. His character was his character made the whole movie. I mean,
yeah.
it was absolutely incredible. We're talking with the guy from Breaking Bad, Ted or Todd. Todd
Yeah,
from Breaking
Meth.
Bad.
I know who Meth Damon is.
Yeah, Meth
Yeah. The most appropriate nickname for any
well, he
actor in
looks
the
just
history.
he looks just like Matt Damon
On Meth.
On Meth.
Yeah, on
It's
Meth.
perfect. This just doesn't
But
get any better.
he plays such a perfect fucking sarcastic weird
Creeper guy.
creeper. I mean, it's like and it starts off like that. It's such a good. What I loved so much about Game Night is, for one, guys, it's a perfect date movie. Like
It's just
you got
fun.
and especially if you play board games, if you're like a board game type person. And you like get-togethers with friends and
Board
I like
games,
the
escape
occasional
rooms, that shit.
rousing match
Oh
of
my
Settlers
God.
of Catan.
But what's so nice about it? It's not even the fact that it's super funny, which it's really funny.
Jason Bateman
Um,
killed it.
It's just a well written, paced, and just a fun. It's the movie is like
They
a
didn't
board
even
game.
market it that
It's
much.
just fun. It's just a fun time. You're on this ride with them. It's like they're part of a board game, and you can't wait to see what happens next. And it's just it's a fun shit show. Definitely a good date movie.
It just
for sure.
completely surprised me when I went in. Like
Surprising everybody.
Yeah, I had low expectations, and you know what? If I had to choose between watching Tomb Raider and Date Night, I'd go to
Oh.
Game Night.
Oh, I believe that all day. I believe that all day. And
immediately.
the last Jason Bateman movie wasn't even very good before that. It was like
Yeah.
Christmas Party or some shit that I saw. It was horrible. This was just like, what the hell? Like,
I want to
know,
see more
where
for
did this come
freaking
from?
Jason Bateman. I want Ozark season 2 and shit.
Yeah, I didn't even.
Yeah,
finish that
Ozarks.
yet.
Ozarks was pretty good.
It's
It wasn't
Jason
bad.
Bateman and Breaking Bad, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason
pretty
Bateman's
much.
good. I like him. But yeah, that's pretty much been my movie experience. So when I come back, we'll go see Tomb Raider.
I also want to see Altered Carbon season 2 because they're pitching
that's really
ideas
good.
for it. Altered Carbon was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones season 2 is actually pretty
It
good.
had some weak writing in spots. Like it could have been a lot better.
I'm on episode 3 for the Carbon.
Yeah, that's when
thing.
it starts to.
I'm gonna
really
download
come
all
together.
the episodes for when I go away.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
We'll watch
It's a
all
really
of it.
pretty show to look at, which is nice.
Oh yeah,
Um,
dude. First episode blew me away. I was like,
Yeah,
whoa, look at the
yeah.
production
Like,
value
yeah,
here.
that
This-
was like what weirded me out. I was like, how much money did they spend on this show? But yeah, definitely would like a season 2 for that because I think it's one of those shows where it has great potential to get a lot better. Like it feels like you're watching, when you watch a pilot episode for a TV show and you're like, all right, I see a lot of promise here, but they fucked up.
It
In a
reminded
few
me
places.
a lot of just the palette and the way it felt. It reminded me of the new Judge Dredd.
Oh.
And the new Judge Dredd was amazing.
A hybrid
love-
of Judge
fucking
Dredd.
awesome.
I would
and-
love friggin' a Dread series.
Oh
That's
man,
something
that
I
would
would
be a
love.
dope Netflix series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Price is
like
not
keep
bad.
it at like a 12 episode arcs. That would be the shit.
Yep. Where you
Get
can
Carl
actually
Urban on it.
see him go through some cases or like
Yeah, get
kinda
Carl
solve
Urban in
a-
on it. Like
Woo!
actually be a judge as
Yeah.
opposed to just like a ridiculous movie.
Yep. That'd be cool. But yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to check out the rest of this Altered Carbon because I enjoyed the first few episodes. First couple episodes.
Yeah, like there's only a couple of weak spots writing wise, and then there's one actress that's in it that in a role that for me she did not fit. Like it was a bad casting call on this role, and I want to hazard a guess you're gonna know when you see it, but That was the only two things for me. The rest of the show, I was like, this is fire. This is great. This got great potential. They come back with that shit. It's going to be dope for sure. So definitely watch that. And then my low-key shout-out to Terrace House, new season. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
I saw that friggin' trailer thing on Netflix.
I'm going to wait, though. I got to wait
and I
until
looked at-
Gabs
yeah.
gets home.
I looked at it, and I'm like, of course Adam and Oxy would love this friggin' K-drama Japanese weeb shit.
You don't even
And now it's on
know.
Netflix.
Dude, it's been on Netflix. What are you talking about? It's been.
I know. I realize that now.
It's been.
I just wasn't expecting them to throw it in my face, okay?
You don't even, and you know why they're throwing it in your face? Because the shit's popular as fuck, bro. I'm spreading the good word about this TV show.
Spreading
People
the
are like,
gospel.
people are
At
like,
least
what do
30
you mean
people
this
on
is
this
good?
podcast are watching fucking Terrence House because of you or whatever.
Dude, Terrace House, I get people hooked on it. They're like, I don't know if I'm going to like this. They watch it, and then they binge watch every fucking season because it's fire. It's fire. But yeah, shout out to Terrace House. Can't wait to watch that. And it's gone back to Japanese, thank God. They did this test thing. The last one was in Hawaii. And so a lot of the people were speaking like a mixture of like a lot more English. And I was like, this just doesn't fucking feel right.
I'm okay with my Altered
I
Carbon and
want
Jessica
my
Jones.
Japans
I
back.
want to, it's weird because I hate reading subtitles, but it just feels
Natural.
weird that it was in English, despite the fact everyone was Japanese. And I was like, hey, just fuck off. Just give me Japanese. If it's going to be Japanese, give me Japanese. But yeah, it's good. It's good shit. There you have it. But yeah, anything else, lads? Or are we done for another week?
We got
We're
the
done.
second to last episode of Dragon Ball Super coming up this weekend.
Ah, yes.
Don't say anything because Kayla and I are on episode 29.
129.
Super Saiyan.
They did not air.
Super
They didn't
Saiyan
air.
Magenta.
They didn't air 130 last week.
Is
So
it
you're-
130?
They're up to 130 now.
Woo! Let's go.
They're ending it. It ends. It's going to be ending at 131.
I thought there was only like 60 or 70 episodes to Super.
No. They're ending at 131 and they're on 129 right now.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. I'm on
Super
29.
Super
I'm going
Saiyan.
on a binge all week.
Super
on the
Saiyan
beach.
Eggshell White.
Yeah.
You're coming up. You're
Spectrum.
coming up on the Future Trunks arc. That's a good arc. You'll enjoy it.
Oh boy.
Woo.
Here
Woo.
we go. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, on that Super Saiyan note, we're gonna wrap it up for this week here on the Technical Alpha podcast. We're gonna take this over to the end screen. That well, I know who's not on this list now, so I can just say it all. And I know Frosty, but we're gonna keep shouting out Frosty until I actually take the time to change this page. Jetrix, Postal Panda, Chico, Fry C, Derek P, Naily, Adam B, Jamaican J, Jorbach, Toad of Steel, and Matthew M. Legends, gentlemen, scholars, every single one of you. Bless you all. We will be back this or next week. It will just be Panic and I believe, next Thursday for the podcast. And so you can look forward to that same time as usual. And so yeah, until we do see you, do us all a favor, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Bye.